Two tisms are locked in battle. Which force of nature will emerge victorious?
Wait, what? Two tisms?
That's no, what? That's the segue. That's the segue. There it is. We found it, boys. We found it.
All right. Started off with a it's not a would you rather, but it basically falls under that umbrella.
Are those slime blocks?
Pretty much.
Per pound. What animal are you choosing? Where will the fight be? The fight will be in a cage within the animal's natural habitat. Meaning if you choose a blue whale, the fight will take place in the ocean within a cage big enough to house the animal. Can I choose the animal's weight? The animal will be its average weight unless you specify a certain weight, and it must be within reasonable limits for whatever animal you choose. For example, no 100-pound rabbit. You can't select the body composition of your opponent. So if you pick a 400-pound human, then that person may be very tall and muscle-bound rather than obese. Can I choose a generally non-aggressive animal? You can choose any animal you want. However, the animal you fight will be in an aggressive state and will attack you when the fight starts. Regardless if it's a generally aggressive or non-aggressive animal, they will still attempt to attack. Do I get any training or items with me? You get no time for training. This happens immediately in your current state. You may choose one blunt object to assist you. The fight ends when one contestant is incapacitated. If you win, your opponent will be weighed on a scale and you will receive $10,000 per pound. So, what are you choosing? Cage fight any animal for a payout of $10,000 per pound. What
I
animal?
was like, why wouldn't you just pick a mouse? But no, it makes sense.
Right. So
10,000 per pound as in like weight.
Yes, per pound. So for every pound, so you could either go, you could say a kitten and get $60,000.
I mean, I think there's a really obvious answer to this one.
What's that?
It's a blue whale.
You want to fight an aggressive blue whale in their habitat
With a blunt
In
object.
a cage?
In the water?
Oh, they said it's going to be in
cage
their
big enough to
Oh,
be
they
in
said
their
it's going to be
habitat.
in their habitat.
So,
I missed
yeah,
that.
yeah. So
Okay.
so my algorithm randomly on like Saturday or Sunday decided it was like, you're really into these fucking like would you rathers and hypothetical fights. It gave me a string of them, and some of them I'm going to pull up in the future.
Mhm.
And all of them are really well thought out.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like they're actually kind of fun to think about and what you would do.
Because I was listening that whole time to be like, okay, is it on dry land? Is it on dry land? Is it on dry land?
Nope. Animals
Natural
habitat.
habitat.
Their natural habitat. Yeah, they cover the bases pretty well. I've been trying to think of a loophole. To me, it really just comes down to one of those like, how much do I really need?
I'd probably fight a big ass jellyfish.
I've never been stung by a jellyfish, so I don't know.
Oh, the stings would be nasty. Depending on the kind of jellyfish, it can kill
Like
you
that?
outright. But
Oh,
jellyfish don't have brains. It's
I
it
knew,
would literally.
but it's not the brains that's the problem, right? It is if you're talking a big ass jellyfish that's going to be a significant amount of weight to fight. You're talking something that's going to have a field of tentacles. Some of them you can't even fucking see that you have to get through.
I think you're vastly overestimating the capacity of a jellyfish.
Well, at the
They
same
don't
time,
have a brain.
They don't need to have a brain.
You just swim up and
y'all,
go to town.
You're
Y'all.
saying swim up and go
Y'all.
to town. I'm saying there's. Hold on, we'll get to you in a second. There's. I acknowledge that you want
You're
to
not
speak. But
part
I'll
of
get
this
to you in a
right
second.
now.
No, I. Have
okay,
you,
keep going. Go.
Yeah, keep
I'm
going.
sorry.
Have you seen like what the crazy long jellyfish and like what they just look like? What their tentacles just kind of splayed out?
Yeah.
Like-
but have you also seen the jellyfish that don't really have tentacles? That is just like a.
How big do those
little
get?
pattern? I think they get pretty fucking big. I think
Now-
they get like 200 pounds.
Oh, really?
I mean, I might be talking out of my ass right now.
Okay.
It's been a
If
long
we're talking one
time.
of those specifically,
Yeah.
okay, because I'm thinking one of the ones with like the crazy long tentacles that just become like a carpet of tentacles that you have to get through.
I mean, you could like a Japanese man of war. I would not want to be fucking.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, sorry for being mean to you.
I'm not.
Y'all are trying to fight anything in the water is crazy.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to fight shit. No,
I'm
hold
like,
on.
what
hold
are
on.
you talking
hold
about?
On,
A
hold
jellyfish?
On, hold on. I'm not trying to fight
No.
shit in the water.
He's
He's trying
in
to
the
fight
water.
stuff in the water.
No,
He's
you're not
trying
trying
to
to
fight things
on
in the
top of
fucking
the
water.
water, stabbing down. You're in the water.
Yeah.
You can't breathe.
Also,
I don't need to breathe to kill a jellyfish.
Huh?
There's
Also,
still gonna be
reminder,
a surface. I'm not in the
No,
water.
there's no surface.
I'm not in the water. That's
Not
not, in the
necessarily.
rules.
not necessarily.
like,
it
you're
just
in-
said in their natural
The
habitat.
natural habitat
Could
of a
it go to-
jellyfish is water.
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
includes the surface. The cage can still encompass like.
But a jellyfish
Bitch, you know
lives
what's water?
in the water.
You know what's water? Is a bucket or a pool
No.
or a lake.
It's natural
ocean.
habitat. It's
well,
natural
you're right.
habitat.
Oceans have a surface.
There's a surface.
The cage could be up at.
As big as the animal.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But not like, no. What?
No, I
you're
think-
adding rules.
You are adding a rule. You are adding a rule.
Okay, what's the
'Cause
rule that I'm adding?
You're saying that the entire cage.
What was that? Was that one?
No, it was just the charging block.
Oh.
You're saying that the cage has to be completely encompassed within whatever the natural habitat
Yeah.
is. That never said that. It just said it has to include the. It
Okay,
didn't say
well,
that.
okay,
It
but
didn't
you're,
say the
okay,
cage had to
then
be
you're adding
underwater.
a rule saying that you could kind of.
You're right.
finagle
I
that
am
however you
assuming
want.
that it's gonna be a cage, like a cage
Okay.
match in a WWA,
Keep going.
Okay.
right? Which will exist in the environment.
Wait a minute. Say what you just said again.
When they say cage match,
Like-
I'm thinking.
No, say what
I
you
said WWA.
You said WNBA.
I did not say WNBA.
You said WNBA.
I said
promise
an
you.
incomprehensible string of letters because I
I
started to
promise
say
you
W.
said WNBA.
I started to say WWE,
I didn't
but then
know.
I was like, "That's
I
not
didn't-
what it is." That because I'm thinking of Miss Martial Arts hexagon cage. That's not WWE, and so I said WWE.
See, I didn't know what you were talking about, but I assumed that it had something to do with the subject. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, the
I swear to
WNBA,
God,
where they do cage
I
fighting
swear to God, we're
matches.
done recording. We're gonna go back, and I swear you ended up saying WNBA. By
I mean, the
You're gonna put
WNBA
up
is a thing.
WNBA in the captions, and everybody's gonna hear WNBA. But I swear to God, I did not say WNBA.
Rewind it back.
oh man. Either
I
way,
said W.
the fight will be in a cage within the animal's natural habitat. Meaning, if you choose a blue whale, the fight will take place in the ocean within a cage big enough to house the animal. That's the only restriction we got based on where the cage will be.
Yeah, okay, so
How
we
did
can
I miss
assume
that? How did
either
I not
or.
hear them specifically talking about a blue fucking whale?
ADHD, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it must be.
But you're right. No, I agree with the base premise of I would not fight a aquatic creature. Absolutely not. That's just not going to
I
happen.
mean, that is assuming.
That's so dumb.
That is
Why?
assuming.
Because some of the most vulnerable creatures on the earth exist in the water, like jellyfish.
hey, what is on your person right now?
My hands
Yeah.
and my feet and my phone.
Uh-huh.
Dude, I'm gonna do some damage to that jellyfish. I'm gonna get I got teeth.
I feel that you vastly overestimate your abilities with a creature.
Have you seen jellyfish before?
No, actually,
Not in
technically,
real
no.
life.
They're literally just like floating blobs of soft
You're
tissue.
right. You're right.
Do you know how dangerous they are, though?
Yes. Yes, I do. I know very well.
Okay.
And that depends. It's not picking like a fucking box jellyfish, all right, where you get stung and you have a couple hours and you're fucking dead.
But they're aggressive in their aggressive
they're
state.
not. Jellyfish.
That's what it said.
Jellyfish
did
are
say that.
literally not
Even if-
capable of being aggressive.
But-
they
but-
float
but
and
it-
they wait for animals to come
Well,
into
then what
their
would
thing.
you consider a jellyfish's aggressive state? Because whatever that is,
Jellyfish are
that's what it's
always
on.
in their aggressive state. They're always hunting, all right, because
is
they
true.
don't have the cognitive capacity to move.
Okay, so
All right,
when
they
a jellyfish stings someone, is that just their stingers are
It's
just naturally
literally
stingy?
like they have
don't-
an automatic response in their tentacles where, like, if you touch it,
They
it
really
fires.
do. They operate more like Venus flytraps than they do like actual animals.
Okay.
Where the jellyfish legitimately don't have a brain, don't have brains.
Okay.
They just operate based off nerves.
Yeah, I think there needs to be more rules around
That one, I think,
figure
I
that one out.
personally, I say Fluff found the loophole that this scenario did not account for.
No.
But accounting for that loophole.
So I can't fight a jellyfish.
we know that one. We know I'll give you that one.
All right.
But
no, I'm still on the fence about that.
Because
one.
I'm curious. I'm curious too how this person would handle when we say an animal that's generally non-aggressive, does that include something that generally cannot think or not? Right. But
or you could argue, what would an aggressive state for that animal, creature, whatever thing
right?
be, right?
I can tell you what my aggressive state is. Put me in front of a jar of peanut butter. I'm gonna go to town.
Bruh.
it's that dog in them.
Peanut butter cracker.
Oh shit. Okay, so discounting jellyfish, creatures that can actually think and have an aggressive state versus non-aggressive states. What are you picking?
So, I am not going to do anything huge. If it's like, what, 10,000 per pound?
10,000 per pound, yes.
I would probably do something that's like just 10 pounds.
That's fair.
And
Damn, you can't pick the composition of. I was gonna say human child.
well,
Yeah, you can.
I'm gonna say I don't think that's off the table.
It said,
But it said you can't pick like the composition, which I think picking like
it
the
said
A-
you can't.
So I could say like a 45-pound human, right?
Yeah, and
Oh, but you could
That'll-
say like young human.
And so like
or
I
something?
could get any. I would probably.
It could give you a little. I mean, I could find a little person
yeah.
because it said the example it gave was like if you said a 400-pound human, it could be someone tall. Like it could be like The Rock, or it could be like Gabriel Iglesias,
Mhm.
Fluffy, right?
Yeah, it doesn't mean like they're big and can't mobilize.
Right. So you say a 45-pound human, it could be a child, it could be a little person, and honestly, I think I could take either one. We love you, little people.
We'll get
Fuck
back.
off, children.
We'll get back. We'll get back to you later in this.
We'll
episode.
get back to y'all in a bit.
But like if we're talking about like because humans are fucking weak.
they
Right?
are.
Like, they don't have any
would-
like naturally aggressive implements.
I feel like I could take my chances better with most. Honestly, I think in a 100-pound human of any just out of weight class.
Does that other human also get a blunt object then? Or
I'm going to assume just like us, they're just dropped into the situation. Because remember it says
but
no
we can get a blunt object.
That's
That's
what
what
it said. We can get a blunt object.
Yeah. You could choose a blunt object of your choice,
Oh,
which
fuck yeah, I'm gonna get a twig. I'm gonna break it. I'm gonna stab the jellyfish.
blunt.
I'm getting it in a blunt form and turning it into a sharp object.
Okay, so
Like if I can't use my
right?
ingenuity as a human to in this fight, then what's the fucking
so
I
point?
mean, yeah,
a
like-
loophole in the loophole. I
Because
see.
like as long as the habitat has something for you to use, go
So like
for it.
you can use a sharp stick or something.
I wonder.
If you have
I
the time to
wonder-
make one in this situation, yeah,
I wonder
Okay.
how a fight against a panda would go.
bad.
Because
I was gonna
pandas
say,
aren't exactly fucking weak, but you could have time to prepare.
But in
You know
their
what I mean?
aggressive-
But they're in an aggressive state.
panda will
Aggressive
An
fuck
aggressive
you
panda
up,
will
yeah.
fuck you up. That's right.
You get no time for training. This happens immediately in your current state. You may choose one blunt object to assist you. Okay.
No, because
which changes the game. Honestly.
It does.
Panda was just...
I've got this here. Weights up to 990 pounds, with some individuals reaching over 880.
Pandas.
Giant earthworm.
Giant tortoise.
Oh.
Oh.
See, the thing is, you have to beat it to submission, and I feel like
I feel like a human could kill a giant tortoise.
What does an aggressive giant tortoise look like? See,
Well, they
that's gonna be
run at you
always my
really
question.
fast.
I've seen that bitch come and let us go back.
Turns into.
I've seen
I
what
think
those.
that's a great option.
I've seen what those things have done to black shoes.
Racist motherfucker.
If you
How
don't
dangerous
care
is a
about
giant tortoise?
if you don't care about killing a gentle giant that is
Is probably still on the edge of extinction.
yeah.
Man, it could also just be like a really interesting to just like summon a creature you've always wanted to meet but that will definitely kill you. Like
Right.
to me, like for me, that would be like a Komodo dragon.
Oh.
Those fuckers are gnarly.
While they are not aggressive, a giant tortoise can bite if they feel threatened, and their bite can be strong, but they are not likely to bite unless they feel threatened.
So like how? But like, what's the bite force on the tortoise?
That's what I'm trying to figure.
I thought I heard it was like
out.
crazy.
Which I wouldn't be
Or
shocked.
snapping turtle. I know snapping turtles bite's pretty crazy.
Yeah. And snapping turtles have like their necks are like
Yeah.
6 inches long or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, those I wouldn't fuck around with.
Yeah. For the weight.
No. Have you seen those things? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not fucking around with a snapping turtle.
Yeah. See, my instant answer for this was just chicken. Easy. Don't get a lot of money. but, like,
Chickens are like
If I'm
super
gonna do this, I want to
lightweight.
go on and
yeah.
I want at least enough to get me out of like all of my current debt.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pick something that is definitely got to be an herbivore, something that generally does not have the tools required to just eviscerate me on sight.
See, but I can't think of any herbivores that I would want to go toe to toe with.
There's not a lot. I'm
Well-
not saying there's a lot that I want to go toe to toe
Well,
with.
even then, some herbivores are dangerous.
No, they're
even if they don't eat you.
absolutely.
Or like,
Don't get me
yeah.
wrong, right? I'm saying like I would rather go up against an herbivore than pick anything that has like claws and teeth and knows how to use them,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I mean, that's fair, but also like, have you seen a horse kick?
Yeah, trust me. I'm considering this.
Even if we're going for like a cow, right? Like,
Oh
bull
fuck no, I'm
ride-
not fighting a cow.
Well, then it's like, what would an aggressive cow who's targeting you?
You're like a
What would that look
capybara.
like?
But I've seen a capybara take out a woman before.
I was gonna say capybaras could fuck you up. From what I've heard, are they the ones, or is it wombats that have the giant cartilage ass?
That's a wombat.
Is that a wombat?
That's a
That like
wombat.
crushes foxes' heads against the roof of caves and shit. Yeah, they're
Oh yeah, I
yeah,
saw that.
like those things can
Ooh.
like fucking tank cars and shit.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Cows are an absolute no go. Most cows. Have you like been in the vicinity of a cow before?
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Cows,
They're enormous.
ladies. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of a tip here.
What?
You wanna know how fucking delusional your man is? Ask him if he thinks he can find a cow.
Would you call that a cow tip?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
Cow
Me or
tipping.
him? A cow tip. You know, like a
Cow tipping?
cow tip. Yeah. Because there's a lot of dudes who think they could fight a cow without truly realizing just how fucking big a cow is.
Well, they've just like never been to rural America.
Like, I've never been to a petting zoo or a ranch or anything. Like, I've never watched a video of just a
I
person
feel like-
standing next to a cow.
I feel like there's two kinds of people who think they can fight a cow. People who have never been around a cow, or people who have been around a cow a lot. Right? You know what I mean?
I feel
So,
like
like,
the
the
people who've been around a
super-
cow a lot will be the first ones to tell you can't fight a cow.
Well, like the super inexperienced versus the super experienced who are
See, there are people who I think could probably, but like been around cows their whole lives, know how,
No ways to
take
That's
one
the
down if
ability.
you have to.
right? And then there are people who are like, it eats grass.
It eats grass. It's a herbivore.
What you
I
gonna do to
think
me,
It
munch
can't
on
move
my...
very fast. I was like, do you realize that thing's neck is like bigger than your fucking torso, right? Like, you're not gonna choke the cow. I can promise you're not gonna choke the cow the way you think you're going.
I'm gonna milk it to death.
I'm a breeding
That's a
bull.
bull. That's a...
Exactly.
Oh man. Holy shit. Honestly, I don't know what I would fight. I don't know.
Cow's gonna milk me to death.
Yeah. Oh, it's gone.
Uno reverse.
I'll just hold up a Uno reverse card.
See how you like it.
Oh Jesus.
Actually, it's super bad.
Getting a fucking handy from a cow.
Don't you mean a hoofy?
Say it again?
A hoofy?
No, the cow has human hands in this.
Yeah,
scenario.
no. When they reverse the images, it's like the deer from Adventure Time that just takes the hooves off. Oh, that deer has
No.
forever scarred me. Of just like, it's not even the hands thing.
It had a name too. Fuck.
It does have a name. I don't remember what the name is, but it was when it fucking broke Finn's legs in 2 places. And Finn's just like, I'm cool. No, he says like whatever or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
Oh shit.
Dude.
God, I wouldn't want to fight a fish. I think I'm leaning more towards kind of where you're coming from on this of something. I'm not trying to change my life amount of money out of this one. There's very few animal in the world I want to fight that is actively trying to hurt me.
Like the higher the
That's
weight,
gonna weigh enough to be worth that.
the
I
higher
think
the weight, the
giant
higher the
tortoise
risk.
is a
for
really
me.
good idea.
It is a really good idea. I do want to read more into like how dangerous that tortoise can be.
I mean, because
But they move super fucking slow. So
Yeah,
I guess that is life-changing amounts of money. So that might be the answer.
I mean, because like once if you get it to turtle up, if you can get up in there,
I'm assuming
do
it's
some damage.
aggressive, so it's probably gonna stay out. So maybe
Yeah.
as long as you can get a hand around its neck,
Or just make your blunt object a hammer, and that's what you use.
right?
I just want to swim inside of a jellyfish.
That's what it sounds like.
Oh. And then jellyfish is the other real answer.
Make a
Because
hole.
you can't make it a jellyfish any more aggressive than it already is. So suck it.
do fungi count as animals?
I don't think we can stretch it that far. Even though at that point, jellyfish are basically fungi.
I mean,
Go dig up
It
the
said
largest
animal.
organism on Earth.
yeah, I
It
don't
didn't
think
say organism.
I don't think technically plants are encompassed with an animalius.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say something 10 pounds. Something that's around 10 pounds.
That's fair.
100,000. I'll take that home.
That's fair.
Because I mean, like, never mind.
No, keep going.
I just was about to like start talking numbers in terms of like the amount of debt that we have, and I was like, we don't need to do that.
That's
But
yeah. 100K would get me comfortably out of all of my debt. I would say that much.
Mhm.
But yeah, like I would not go anything crazy. But I didn't think of tortoise. That's pretty
good.
Got me on that tortoise thing now. I've come around on the tortoise.
Yes, endangered species.
Fuck them. I'm an endangered species. The fuck do I care?
Yeah, black people.
my favorite endangered
Someone's gonna
species.
get mad about that one. Oh man. So back on I think exactly a week ago now, actually. I went and got a psych eval for ADHD.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I wasn't entirely certain like what to expect, but I figured it'd be like the little interview portion and all that, and they had me fill out like 3 different questionnaires and some shit, just asking me like
I thought you were just about to say 3 different questions. I was like, that's it? Just 3
it
questions?
was a fucking lot,
This
man.
is
Do you think
easier
you have
than the
ADHD?
online ones.
Are you smelly?
Do you think you okay? You,
What's
you
9
say
plus
that
10?
because I was gonna say, do you say that?
21. ADHD.
Because it's like, do you think you have ADHD? Are you sure you're not just stupid? Like, so that's what the question. The questionnaire was just like questions like, were you inattentive in class, like in your childhood? Did you overtalk people a lot? Were you shy? Were you like? It was asking mostly questions. One of the questionnaires was basically just screening for like, do you have depression or anxiety disorders? Right.
Like currently or in the past?
In the past
both?
and currently, both.
I mean, they're really common comorbidities.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. Did those, went to the actual eval. And it's basically you start off with like just a therapy session. He just asked like the guy I was with, the doctor I was with, asked a ton of questions just about like growing up and pretty much kind of the same questions from the questionnaire.
Mm-hmm.
The part that threw me that I wasn't expecting in all of this was he then brought me over to this little small table in his office and had me go through.
Sorry.
What?
He started touching my penis.
I was gonna say it was like those little puzzles where it take you in.
No,
and
I
like,
paid him extra for that.
he wanted that happy ending.
Yeah.
Put the H in ADHD.
Put the D's in there too.
He's in there too. Oh shit!
ADHD's nuts.
I got him.
Oh yeah, flick that.
Hi.
But no, he brought me over to the table, and the first thing he had me do, and I was gonna ask you this, but you said you don't really remember because you got yours
was very long time
fucking
ago.
forever ago.
Yeah.
He had me do these little block puzzles.
Oh, I was okay.
Like dead ass. It was little block puzzles. So it was like it started off with 4 of them, and then at one point it just like progressed up to 9 of them. And each side, it was like there were red and white blocks.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple sides that were solid, one color, and then there was a couple sides that were half and half. And I used those to make different patterns out of a book that was in front of me. No idea what that was all about. We did it.
If I remember, I don't remember doing that, but I think it might have something to do with working memory, because generally people with ADHD have less working memory than.
Well, this particular thing, because I think that does come into play. It came into play a little bit later on, but with the blocks, the image in front of me was just right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that plays into working memory or not. It's definitely cognitive function to some degree. I think they were looking for, because after we did the blocks, we then jumped over to I'm trying to remember if we did. Yeah, we jumped over to like, he gave me some words. He would give me a word and he would ask me to define it. Like literally just give the definition on the spot. And we did that with ever increasing more difficult words, like just higher like reading level words. And I think that's probably what it was meant to test or measure, like what my reading level was at. It hit words like the legit words I have never heard of a day in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
And they just had you guess what
He
the
was like, you
meaning
can.
was,
He was like, you can guess if you want to, and I was like, I've never heard this word, and I can't hear a root in this word that will make me think of what it actually is.
How can I exsanguinate you?
country of origin.
No, that's not
Right? Could have did that.
Use it in a sentence.
Right.
Hippopotamonstrosicoliosis?
No, I'm thinking of the fear of large words.
I think that's what I was trying to say.
No, that word is much longer. It's you're getting close.
I mean, that word would scare me. So
Hippopota. That word is crazy. It's a crazy word. It's also like how you know that the people that come up with these words are just fucking assholes. Because the fear of large words is the biggest word in the English language.
you can't even say what disease you have, because you're too afraid to touch.
Hippopotamonstrosiquidilophobia.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's legitimately the longest word in the English language.
Yeah, no, that's sadistic.
It is absolutely sadistic, right?
Daniel Thrasher's bit about that is so fucking good. Like,
yeah.
Chuck Have you guys seen that? Have you guys not seen that?
No.
All right, well, I'm gonna make you guys watch it now.
I get okay. But then it's just like a lot of word association stuff that I wasn't expecting. Like there was one of like okay, fuck me.
I'm sorry, I didn't want it to play, but continue your thought, then we'll.
Yeah. He gave me 2 words and how are they alike? And those started hitting a point where it was like how are a shirt and a jacket alike? And it was like they're garments of clothes, right? And then it started hitting stuff where he said, how is war and peace alike? And that one I was like, what the fuck? But
Well, they exist in opposition to one another.
Some would think one is a means to an end, but
right. And
they're both states of being.
So that was fun. And then there was some that were like pattern recognition. And then we got to one of the final ones he did was this is where it was like a recall test where he would say a sentence and I had to answer a question about the sentence. So it would act like the subject, the place, the setting or whatever, one word thing. But I also had to remember the end of the last word of the sentence and be able to recall that afterwards.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'm hearing a lot of memory stuff.
Yeah.
I'd fail this shit.
Yeah.
No way, bro.
It gets.
Want to get some drugs?
Yeah. the first few of almost all of them were like pretty simple. Like it's never crazy. Mm-hmm. It hits a point with the recall one where it's like, I'm going to say 4 sentences. You need to answer 4 separate questions and remember all 4 words at the end of each sentence. a word at the end of each. So you have to recall 4 words, and you can't write down what those words were until after the sentence is done. And you've answered the questions, and then it'll go recall, and you have to figure it out. Those ones had me sweating so fucking bad because I'm like I'm in this thing where I'm being eval. Like there is no pass or fail here, but damn it, I felt like a fucking failure. Like it was a very interesting experience. I have my call with him to go over the results tomorrow, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we'll find out if your boy got the good old ADHD and kind of where we go from there.
Okay. I was wondering if you got the results back.
Not yet.
When did you say you did it? Last week?
Last Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So about a week and
Having
plus.
fun over there.
Yeah, just mumbling ADHD notes to myself.
Yes. What were you saying? Sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying. So it takes about like a week or so to get.
I
the
guess so.
results.
Yeah. It was just like I have an opening next week on Wednesday to do a call, and I was like, cool.
Okay.
So
I wonder how subjective are these tests? Like,
I'm imagining he's going to explain what all of that was about. Did you put that in episode 51?
It was at the top.
Oh my fucking goodness.
I can't count.
That's fine. You're fine.
Lends well to the topic.
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine he'll probably explain what a lot of that was about. One of my disc golf friends, she actually, when she got her ADHD eval, where she found out she did not have ADHD, she was just anxious and depressed.
Damn. With like the doctor actually
Quite literally was like, yeah, you're just anxious and depressed.
Damn.
Turns out she actually went to the same doctor too.
Oh really?
Yeah, because I was talking to her about it at my tournament on Saturday, and she was like, yeah, I went to this doctor. And I was like, that was the doctor I went to. So yeah, awesome shit.
Out here diagnosing ADHD. I put the
He says the same thing for you.
Yeah,
the
right.
A stands for
Just
anxiety,
depressed.
the D stands for dick, the H stands for happy, the D stands for depression.
Anxiety, dick, happiness, and happy depression.
Not in that order.
Now, maybe not in that order, but yeah, you never know. You never know. No, the H stands for handy. No, happy ending.
hoofy.
Hoofy. Well, yeah, no.
Like the texture.
Tightness. Hard.
I know, like horse hooves are like fingernail, like really thick fingernail.
I mean, so are cows. Horse hips has the frog though.
Yeah.
What?
Are there any bronies in the audience?
Why that motion?
You had to demonstrate.
You got some experience there?
I just like watching horse hoof trimming videos
Oh.
for very innocent reasons.
Nobody searched this man's history.
Don't do it. I would not recommend it.
They help me fall asleep.
In more ways than one? Question mark.
I will neither confirm nor deny.
Have you ever seen the ones where they're like fixing like an infected hoof and it's like
Yeah, those are the best ones.
Those
Those
are-
squirts a little bit.
Those are the
Further proof.
I'm so upset because that is an accurate description of those videos.
Yeah.
Oh, the framing and the context of this conversation sucks.
but once
Squirting
it's,
hooves.
but once it's all fixed and clean and like the animal looks like it's doing better, that's like the satisfying.
It's just really
Sure. You can
So
call
you're
it
there
that.
for the story, okay?
I'm there for Nate the Hoof Guy's voice. All right.
That's fair. So anyway, yeah, mental health. We take it seriously in this house. Maybe. I'm only 32 and just now finally decided to get that figured out. But anywho,
No,
I
that's
mean,
good.
I know somebody who's just now getting diagnosed with autism. So,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
it might be me soon too. You'll find that out too.
Yeah, your doctor just
I mean,
was like,
well,
actually,
Hey, also, by the way, actually,
Technically, I'm pretty sure that I've heard that ADHD is considered an autism spectrum.
I was gonna say it's under the spectrum umbrella, isn't it?
Mm.
So, I would not be shocked if I do. Matter of fact, my mom was just like, you should ask, you probably have autism. You should ask them about that. I was like,
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, your doctor just comes in tomorrow. Actually, we want you to come back in and take another test real quick.
Well, the funny thing is that I'm fairly certain what happened when I went to my my physician, when I was talking to her about it, I was like, I want to get tested for ADHD and autism.
Mm-hmm.
And then it wasn't until I was with my nutritionist that he set me up for the ADHD test. So I don't know if that includes the autism bit or not. If that's going to be a whole separate deal. We'll see. The autism, I don't really care much about it. Like, that's just for fuck who I am at this point. Yeah. The ADHD is like, if medication can help me focus better on the tasks I have to do in a day-to-day, which is about to become a fucking lot, it would be very nice, because that has become a little bit detrimental to my day-to-day life. And that's one of the reasons I was like, between the podcast, work.
I gotta lock in, so it's time to
literally that. It was literally that of like, I need to lock in.
So it's time to get pop in.
Right.
Pop in so I can lock in.
I've had at least 3 people go like, if you get Addy, I'll buy it off you.
They literally give you a thing every year that's like, you're not going to sell the Adderall, right? You're not going to sell. I was once in a conversation with my doctor, and so my old doctor, before he retired, like occasionally they would bring people who were in school by and insert the things. And the person who was there literally was talking to me so long about not selling Adderall that the doctor had to take them out of the room and like talk to them for a second, and then they came back in.
Continue to talk about it.
Before we move on, we should watch that Daniel Thrasher thing.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not moving on. I just want to set something up because I forgot to add it later. But okay. Yes, let's watch this.
Oh, I added it to episode 55 too.
Doctor, I think I have a fear of
Oh wait, I did
Sounds
see
like
this.
a classic
Or at
case
least
of
I've seen a lot of
hippopotamonstrossus squepidaliophobia. Don't worry, it's highly treatable. Unlike pneumono-ultramicroscopic silicovolcanic. Are you afraid of needles? No. That's great, because the medication is administered intravenously by a homeopathic phlebotomatologist. Is that even a real word? I have just the specialist for you. Her name is Dr. Ann. Oh. Ann T. Disestablishment. She lives over by Lake Chargagagagman. Yeah, that's right. 8 years of med school, you too can pronounce Lake Chargagagagman Chagagag Chowbanagungaba.
That's a doctor.
Okay, I see what you were getting at. I see what you were getting at now.
I just started going,
yeah. Isn't Adderall just like laboratory grade meth?
I mean,
is it Adderall? Or is it...
Adderall, I believe, is one molecule different from meth.
I think you're thinking No,
because that's a downer.
That is a downer. I know what you're talking about. Adderall is like a molecule off, but there is something that's basically just medical grade, like meth or cocaine or some shit.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one it is.
I mean, that molecule does make a pretty significant difference.
You'd be amazed. You'd be amazed how those molecules make a real big difference. One extra oxygen, and you get hydrogen peroxide out of water. I don't think it's that dangerous. Probably shouldn't drink it, but I don't think it's that dangerous.
Water?
Yes. Probably shouldn't drink that.
Never.
Hey.
No
one's proven that it's not what's slowly killing us on a day-to-day basis.
No, I think that...
Technically speaking, we don't know that oxygen is not killing us on a just very slow basis.
I think we have pretty good evidence. I think we, because
no
know when
one's
you
proven
take it away.
No one's proven
I think we know pretty. I think I can prove it right now if you want.
Look. I don't know. I think I think Blitz is onto something, because you know that every person who has ever lived and died breathed oxygen
and drank water at some point in their life.
So I mean, it's possible.
You're gonna make me piss myself.
Say when. What? I gotta get my cup. What?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Your teapot brew up a little bit.
You said the teacup? Oh, brew up. I thought you said it grew up a little bit. Teapot getting freaky. That's dog ears. I don't have a segue for this. Lego and Pokemon have a thing.
Short and stout. Here's my handle.
Speaking of handles and spouts.
I'm surprised this wasn't a thing already, though.
That's what everybody said. It is kind of amazing that this was not already a thing. What?
I know some people that are going to go insane.
Oh, yeah.
Watch all scalpers.
I live with one of them, too.
Right. Girl, this too. Yeah, I'm really, because I'm trying to think, like, Pokemon has its own, like, official merchandising line.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know of them having ever, like, really crossed over with or, like, licensed out to any other brands and companies. So I think that's just
If you just do a Google for Pokemon Lego real quick,
for.
just like Google it.
Like maybe it's never been like official like this. Maybe that's the thing. But I swear I've seen a lot
top
of.
comment. Mega Block is way better than Lego.
Because engagement bait.
You're right. How is that what was deemed most relevant? Facebook, you're stupid.
Facebook is dumb. Pokemon Mega Construction Set. So yeah, like they have like their own branding and stuff that they'll do.
That's Mega Bloks.
Is this Mega Bloks?
Yeah, it is Mega Bloks.
Oh,
That says Mega Brands.
Oh, it had Mega on the
I was gonna
front.
say, I think it just has the word Mega in it. I mean, it could be the Mega Blocks.
So they're ripping
Constructs,
off the Mega
Brands,
Bloks and not Lego.
I can't believe Lego's ripping off Mega Block's Pokemon.
right? I think the funny part is I think Mega Bloks was the first one. I'm not certain though.
I'm waiting for the Fortnite version of the Pokemon Legos.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
I hated every word of that. I did not like any of the words in that.
I say what? And actually, don't repeat yourself.
The thing is, that might be a thing.
It probably will be. Yeah, no, like I've never been like a huge Lego fan. Like Legos were not my toy of choice.
Two tisms are locked in battle. Which force of nature will emerge victorious?
Wait, what? Two tisms?
That's no, no. What? That's the segue. That's the segue. There it is. We found it, boys. We found it.
Two tisms locked in Which one will emerge victorious?
That's a comment on the.
Holy shit! Oh, you were reading?
Yeah.
I thought you just. I wasn't even.
That's why it came so like out of.
Oh man, I thought you just fucking made that up because I was like, I wasn't really even into that, but I've been to Pokemon, but oh shit.
Exactly.
Oh man.
I wish I came up with that one. I'm not going to
Blake
like that.
Patrick.
Thank you, Facebook user Blake Patrick, for that awesome segue
Holy
from our
shit.
past topic.
Holy fuck. Two tisms
Locked in
battle. Which one will emerge victorious? Which force of nature will emerge victorious? Oh my fucking goodness.
Why is John Cena still there?
Don't worry about him.
So
Yeah.
is this all? This is all we've seen? Is just the Pikachu tail?
It's been this only been this so far. So I imagine they're just
What
gonna
more
get
do
like
you want to see?
It's Pokemon and it's Lego. What else do you need to see?
I like to see a little bit of
What
Pikachu
does the
tail.
whole Pikachu look like?
Like a Lego. I don't fucking know. Like, yeah,
Is
no, it is amazing that this is the first time we're getting this.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna have all 2,050 sets of Pokemon.
Maybe.
Maybe. At some point we'll have to get there. I don't know. It'll probably be your usual nostalgia fare. Pikachu, Eevee, Charizard,
Mm-hmm.
Lucario,
Probably-
Gardevoir,
Big man blast.
Low
Big
Punny.
Man Blastoise has to be in there.
Jiggly.
Probably Rayquaza because you need your big ones. Rayquaza,
Your big
Arceus, yeah.
Wailord.
Giratina. Wailord is definitely gotta be one.
Wailord is like the Death Star. Like
Yeah.
The 1,000th Pokemon or whatever. Whichever one that was again, the gold one.
Your mom.
Oh yeah. Golden Go. Oh, Golden Go. Honestly, the way it's set up, it already looks like a Lego piece in a lot of its animation. So that would be a perfect one. Yeah, no. I was never a huge Lego person. I've been to the Lego store every once in a while. It's cool looking. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people very excited for this.
Mm-hmm.
So, Lego and Pokemon. Thus begins the portion of trailers and announcements and stuff coming on. There is now a John Wick. As I understand it, it's basically going to be John Wick 3.5. Not you, Dinky.
But it's so cute.
He is very cute.
I'd like to go hunting.
Will this be a large or small game hunt?
Large.
You have no idea what you just walked into.
Fucking Norman Reedus.
Well, what's Norman Reedus doing here?
I don't know. Where's this funky fetus?
I can send someone to solve the problem.
The Baba Yaga. Leave the wolf to its prey.
She sent you here to kill me?
Or you can leave.
I'm not leaving.
Your choice.
Rules.
And consequences.
Welcome to the Continentals. Checking in.
So
I'd like to go.
yeah, it's been a minute since I've seen the trailer of this.
Mm-hmm.
But back when they first started showing sneak peeks of it, I think there was talk where there's like a scene of John Wick basically saying to her, like, you want to learn how to fight type thing. So what me and MJ and MJ's dad, because he's big into John Wick. We're all
I
like,
remember.
yeah. He's like, at first he was like, oh well, spoilers. Because at the end of John Wick 4,
Right.
it's heavily implied that he dies.
Yeah.
But it's not like, he's dead. Like, it's not super confirmed. So he was like, oh, he's definitely alive. He's alive. And I don't know. The more days that pass, it's starting to look like maybe he is dead. And the fact that they're doing kind of like a 3.5.
Right.
Even, I don't know, even if he's not dead at the end, I think they were trying to say that his story came to an end.
I think, his story's done.
Right. And now it seems like they're trying to either start up a new, series with a different protagonist. And I think this is heavily implying in other clips that we've seen that sometime between John Wick 3 and 4 or something like that, he ended up meeting up with this person, kind of training her a little bit. And then she's going to have her own story. And then,
which is very likely, because then also the Japanese boss dude's daughter, she has her own thing that they started up and need to continue on with. Like, I'm down for this to become an anthology. Like, I don't think it has to be. Yeah. I'm down for John Wick to just become the world, and everyone now has their own things. Jason Baylor, you're a fucking dumbass.
Yeah.
Oh, he had another girl boss pass. Dude, if you don't shut the fuck up. Thanks,
Jose Ortiz?
That's an interesting way to spell Jose.
I think
Josue Ortiz.
I mean, it might be Josue.
Mr. Ortiz.
I've met some Josues.
Mr. Ortiz, thank you for your service.
I think they could have cast a better actor for the female role, like Keanu Reeves, for example.
You almost had me. You
had us
almost
in the
had
first
me.
half, not gonna lie.
Like, you never have strong opinions about like specific actors. What's going on here?
See, I didn't expect this from you. Oh,
one day we just get an entire John Wick movie where Keanu Reeves plays every role. It's just a fucking Eddie Murphy Meet the Clumps-esque.
John Wick versus Neo.
Right. Oh, that's the crossover we need. That's the crossover we need. I think it looks interesting. I have no super strong opinions of it right now. Like, I would be down to go see this just because I had so much fun with the 4 John Wick movies. So if they're expanding this out to be more of its own universe,
and the universe is real fun.
It's a really fun universe.
Just like this.
He's not the only like assassin dude of this type, and there's a lot of people in this world that we could go explore.
This underground aristocracy of violence,
right? not even underground. They get into some wild shit on the fucking surface too that just gets swept away.
There is this spinoff too called The Continental where it dives more into it's the kind of like a prequel of
is it a movie, a series? Where is it?
Series. I think is it on Paramount? I don't remember.
Well, if it's
where
not
it
on
was.
YouTube,
That makes sense. Yeah.
It's not a YouTube thing. It is a series on something, but it's called The Continental, and it's kind of like the prequel backstory to the guy who kind of runs the Continental who passed in the
John Reddick.
Reddick.
Yeah, the pigeon guy.
Yeah. No, black.
No.
Black dude.
No,
black dude.
I mean, they're both black.
Which pigeon?
None of them.
Oh no, not Lawrence Fishburne.
No.
Oh, you mean the old
the old white
dude, that dude. Okay,
yeah. It's like his backstory kind of a little bit more into his past before John Wick.
I'd have to look that up. I'd be curious about that.
Why did I think the pigeon guy ran the Continental? No,
he was a king.
He was a
one
messenger.
of the kings or some shit. Is that what they call themselves?
The pigeon dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like one of those underground, like,
he ran shit.
Helios, yeah.
He was a boss.
Mm-hmm.
I might have to look into that and see if I can find that somewhere that isn't Paramount.
Yeah, if you're interested in the world at least, and are interested in like more backstory to everything,
I would very
definitely
much be
check it
interested
out.
in learning more about this world because there's a lot of cool shit going on around it. Is like you don't really have to. It doesn't have to be John Wick.
Mm-hmm.
Like as fun as it was to watch Keanu Reeves just go through on a fucking rampage through this. Now, I will say. I don't remember the details of 3 and 4, but I'm fairly certain it's weird that John is getting sent on a mission here. Yeah. At least that was my initial life. I was like, it's weird because wasn't he like basically warring with the entire institution or some shit by this point?
Yeah. Something like that, yeah.
But
which is why, like, I don't know, I haven't seen this framing of it before, which is interesting based on like what I
have a positive relationship with. I would have to go back and review
because I don't remember when he finally ended his involvement with the family. So the lady who gave this girl his assignment or her assignment, whatever, the old lady in the back, I'm fairly certain that's the mother of the family that he belonged to. But he cut that family tie.
Yeah, between 3 and 4, he killed somebody he killed that guy in the Continental, and
that was the end of 4. Yeah.
Excommunicado.
Either way, we'll probably get answers. This looks good. I don't think we have a date for it yet, at least not in this particular trailer.
I think it. I don't know. I think it was announced. I got to look at it again. It's been a minute since I've looked into all the details of this one, but
let's see, Heather.
Yeah.
Communicado avocado.
2025.
June 6th.
Nice. See if it holds true. Excommunicado avocado.
After being delayed a year from its originally announced date of June 7th, 2024.
Oh.
That's what that's why I'm like, I remember this from a long time ago because they started announcing stuff and showing some pretty decent like clips and trailers like a year ago.
I wonder why they delayed it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or SAG-AFTRA happened last year. Was that last year? The SAG-AFTRA strikes?
It was not last year. I think it was.
So I thought.
Time is an illusion.
Time doesn't exist.
I don't remember. Let me.
But I mean, it could have affected
it's an
it.
Easily verifiable event,
right?
See.
Even if it was 2 years ago, I mean, that could have still affected the release date.
It could have.
Yeah,
it still affected the release date of Into Spider-Verse.
It did.
Yeah,
and then the main voice actor started being a weirdo.
I actually don't know about any of that.
What? Did you not hear about any of that?
Mm-mm.
The voice actor for Miles Morales, started getting into a lot of fucking controversy because he started being weird and creepy to first it was I didn't even look super deep into it because it's just so fucking cringy. It's more cringy than it is criminal or anything, but he keeps trying to shoot a shot with women who are fucking married. So there's one that's the voice actress for Gwen Stacy in Intro to Spider-Verse. Because there's this running gag of every Spider-Man has dated his Mary Jane or Gwen Stacy. Tobey Maguire dated Gwyneth Paltrow. No, who played Mary Jane in the Sam Raimi?
I thought it was.
Was that Gwyneth Paltrow?
I thought it was. I thought it was the young Gwyneth Paltrow, but let me go check.
I don't, because Gwyneth Paltrow is Pepper Potts.
Yeah.
And
I
that
don't
might be
think they're
her.
the same one person.
Might be.
Same actress.
It might be. Oh, Kirsten Dunst. Kirsten. So I guess Tobey Maguire and
Why did I think that was Gwyneth Paltrow? Anyway, it's not important.
right, white Hollywood actress.
Redhead.
They're extremely
time, yeah.
distinctive people.
Tobey Maguire and I guess Kirsten Dunst had a brief relationship after the Spider-Man stuff. Andrew Garfield and his Gwen Stacy, I guess, dated. Was that Kristen Stewart? Was that her? Either way. Obviously the most famous one,
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves. Yeah, Tom Holland and Zendaya dated. So like I guess there was that running thing, and I guess the internet did what it did and was like kind of not dogpiling. I don't know, because obviously I don't fucking keep up with celebrities and I don't do that weird shit, right? But I guess like because of that, people were talking about how like Miles needed to pull his leading lady type shit, and that resulted in him like trying to like flirt and have some kind of like chemistry with the voice actress for Gwen Stacy, but she's like married, so it just came off as really weird and awkward in interviews and shit. And then he, after that kind of flopped, he was still getting clowned for that, and
How old is the actor? How old is he?
I think late 20s, maybe early 30s.
Okay.
He's not old, but then it's the fact that he's flirting with a married woman.
Yeah.
Well,
this is the voice actor for Miles Morales. So I guess, I mean, it doesn't have to be a younger person, but he sounds pretty young.
Yeah, he's pretty young from what I understand. He's not like teenage young, but
yeah, that's what I was
too
wondering.
He's too old to be pulling this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about it too. Like, when did the last Spider-Verse come out, and then the first Spider-Verse come out? Was that like 20?
It was a while.
2016 when the
I don't
first
think it was
one
that.
came out?
Was it that
Wasn't
far
quite
ago?
that. The SAG-AFTRA strike was in 2023.
Oh, okay.
It was about 2 years ago. I was gonna say 2 years ago. I was right. But everything was 2 years ago.
Across the Spider-Verse is 2023. Into the Spider-Verse is 2018. 2018, 2023. But then, yeah, so he was like kind of trying to shoot his shot, but it's like the girl's married, dog, stop. And then he posted an image of himself with the girl who played the Vulture's daughter in Tom Holland's Spider-Man, the first one. He posted a picture of himself with her that was like from years ago, I guess, and it kind of like the way that it's framed and their pose kind of like implies that they were like, he's like trying to imply that they were a thing or something, but like she's fucking engaged to be married.
Oh.
And so this is the most I ever got from this was watching a video by her. Like she put out like a TikTok or Instagram video where she's like, I tried to talk to you about this in private, and I asked you to take down the fucking post because that's weird. I'm engaged. Like she literally holds up her hand and points at her ring. Like, I'm engaged. Like, that's weird. Like this doesn't need to be a thing. You told me you'll take it down and it's still up, or like, and you like just won't take it the fuck down, and you're being a fucking weirdo and a creep about it. Yeah, so it's like he's not done anything illegal, but he's just being so fucking weird.
Yeah.
For reasons. And so yeah, that started happening, and that's been happening since like last year.
Damn.
That was when I first heard about it. It was sometime last year. And it's like, come on, dog. Come on, dog. Really? This is what we're doing?
I'm sure you can find somebody who's not married.
But it has to be a leading lady.
No, he's gonna do his own thing.
He's gonna do it. I'm gonna do my own thing. It's like, bro, please stop. You are a handsome, attractive, fit, genuinely like conventionally like good looking guy, quit being a weirdo. You have every advantage in life right now.
He's got a rotten personality.
As it turns out, apparently. But holy fucking shit. Speaking of people who don't have rotten personalities that I know of, I don't really know if he did or didn't.
He was an interesting person.
He was. This is the official trailer for Stan Lee, the final chapter.
My name is John Bullerjack, and for the last 4 years of Stan Lee's life, I was his assistant, his confidant, but most importantly, his friend. I traveled the world with him, witnessing firsthand the incredible highs of his legendary career, but also the heartbreaking lows. Stan spent his final years enduring mistreatment, manipulation, and betrayal at the hands of a few very bad actors.
Is there any way to get us out of the San Francisco thing? Or do you feel we gotta do it?
Gotta do it.
At the time, I didn't have the power to stop it, but I did have a camera and I filmed everything. Whoa, watch out! Now I'm asking for your help to finish the film and finally get justice for Stan. This documentary includes first-hand accounts from key witnesses, including comic book legends like Rob Liefeld and Roy Thomas, as well as many others who saw the chaos and unethical acts. This isn't speculation, it's all on camera. Undeniable.
This is old Stan Lee coming at you. No, you're not old.
Irrefutable.
I thought I was finished, but apparently I'm not.
No ambiguity. With your help, we can finish the film, expose the truth, and give Stan the justice he deserves. As a bonus, I'm going to share with you some insights on the film from some of the most well-respected creators in the industry.
I'll be honest, I didn't know what to expect. When I saw the documentary, I knew some of it, but like most people, I didn't know all of it. And there were pieces of it that blew me away.
It's a lot of emotions, dude. It's a crazy roller coaster.
Seeing Stan in that situation, being taken advantage of, was really hard to watch. Because I just think, I was thinking of my parents and my grandparents.
So I think it's important that people see that even the guy at the top, the most successful comic creator isn't protected.
This film shows behind the curtain that not a lot of us fans get to see.
This isn't just a fluff piece trying to attack somebody. This is like, I'll just show you in their own words.
I had no idea how badly he had been exploited. And that's a message that people need to hear.
I really miss Stan, and just watching it just felt like I really got to know him again. My thing that I hope that, this documentary really does is, shine a light on what was going on truly with Stan Lee.
So yeah, this was back on March 11th that this was posted, but there is a current Kickstarter going to help fund the documentary called Stan Lee, the Final Chapter, it sounds like.
Wow. Covering abuse and exploitation in his final years? Is that what's...
Yeah, it sounds like it, and that's... Damn. Sucks to fucking hear.
It's fucking rough.
Like, the grandfather of Marvel and many comic book characters that we love today was treated like this, like, towards the end of his life. Because, like, Stan Lee, I think, was in his late 80s, early 90s when he passed away?
Yeah.
Which means he was up there. And that's, yeah.
Oh, how's the Kickstarter doing right now?
Let us see. I imagine it's well overfunded. We'll see. Oh. It has about 16 days to go. It's currently at 73,000 of its $300,000 goal. So it has a ways to go. This episode will be going out. So by Thursday, there will be about 14 days left, about 2 weeks left to back it. So if this is something you want to help have brought to light and kind of help get some justice for Stan Lee. I don't know if I like that wording or not, but help kind of shed light on what was going on. Because I think some people have brought up that this is like more than just Stan Lee. That it kind of just touches on elder abuse and like just kind of exploiting very vulnerable people, even if we think that they're powerful and just for what they're able to do. If it's that's important to you, definitely go to this Kickstarter and take a look and donate and pledge if you can. But that's very fucking unfortunate to hear that was happening to him towards the end of his days. Like, you never want to hear about someone being exploited or taken advantage of in that kind of way. But just something I kind of came across. Obviously, I don't do Comic-Con and stuff. Like, I've never met Stan Lee in person or got to see anything like that, but that'd be very unfortunate to hear about.
How long ago was it when he passed?
Stan Lee passed. It's been 2-ish years.
He saw the writer's strike and he was like,
huh?
Said he saw the writer's strike and he was like, it's time.
Sorry. He passed 2018. Wow, it was that long ago?
Dang.
That's right. Because I remember around the time that
that's when I was born.
Spider-Verse, the first Spider-Verse was released. He had a cameo in it, and everybody was like, oh, because it had
that's what that was. I was trying to remember which movie we had watched.
Yeah, and I think at the very end of that they added some like a tribute to him, like in the credits or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember it was fresh when that movie dropped.
It was So it's been some years. Yeah, hopefully they can get their Penguin Z. Charlie did a video on it. I might watch this later.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna check that out later.
Checking this out later. But yeah, that's a crazy situation. If you can, if you find it and feel strongly about it, definitely go donate or go contribite to the Kickstarter to help get this made.
$100,000 on that.
If you got 300,000, 225,000 to just drop, you know where to go spend it.
Hey, if you chose a 20 to 30 pound animal to fight, and you got that cash on you from the fight,
there you go.
You have enough money. You have enough money to, back that project. So.
You do.
On a brighter note.
I
guess Egghead Part 2.
Yeah, One Piece. Egghead's coming back in a couple weeks, and it's going to be crazy, actually.
Me and Fluff were talking about catching up on this, actually, because we're behind.
Doesn't mean solo leveling is about to complete.
That is. 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've said it before in like previous stuff talking about One Piece, the anime, and everything happening in Egghead, but like the stuff that we had mentioned in the manga that was happening like half a year ago, almost a year ago, is about to get animated. So this shit's nuts. For all of you like One Piece anime watchers and you haven't like read or seen anything of the manga, it's gonna get crazy. So if you're not caught up, catch up and be stupefied.
Get fucking ready.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be nuts.
I think we'll probably go back to our nightly rotation. 2-3 episodes. I don't think we're that far behind. It's been
we're probably like 20 episodes.
Probably about that.
Because we got to Egghead Island.
Yeah, we were in Egghead.
And
we got a
then-
few episodes into, and then we moved.
I mean, I don't think they got too far into I guess part 2. They got almost halfway. I don't even think they're exactly halfway yet, but they're almost halfway into it.
Okay. Yeah, no, we'll work on catching up on that so that we can enjoy that with you.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. Speaking of
excited.
Right? Like speaking of some One Piece news.
Yeah, so that's some good stuff, and then some, I wouldn't say bad, but interesting stuff about the live action One Piece. The way that this title words it is kind of, interesting, but
From
essentially
Forbes, it says some disappointing news about One Piece going forward on Netflix.
Right. Really, all that's happening is the showrunner, like the director, I forget his exact title, but his name's Matt. He was directing the whole first season and the second season. He's basically taking a step away for a while now that the second season has been filmed fully and is currently being edited through and everything. For some mental health, stuff, just to, kind of get a break, more or less. He has a specific statement. I think it's like quoted right there. It says, "Thank you so much to Oda." Tomorrow Studios, Netflix, the entire cast and crew for your trust, partnership, and hard work. For now, I'm going to take a breath, do some therapy, try to rank up in Marvel Rivals, and come back refreshed for the new adventures that await. Thanks to everyone who has supported me. See you real soon.
I mean, that's fair.
Right. Matt Owens, that's his name.
How dare he take mental health time?
How dare you take time for yourself and know that you're healthy?
Exactly.
Wait, I'm glad. I hope he does come back refreshed.
Right, and that
looks like the love child of Elon Musk and Seth MacFarlane.
Bruh.
Kind of.
That's crazy, but I can see it.
I don't know who Stephen, what does that say? Stephen Maida?
Maida, yeah.
They have the distinct Elon Musk. Maybe they'll fall into a K-hole like Elon Musk too.
Maybe.
So those aren't the actual actors, that picture. That's just...
No, like on
those
the
are
left...
the people that play the director.
This is showrunner and co-showrunner.
Yes,
what we're seeing.
No. That image
this
is
one?
that from the?
It's from the show. Yeah.
Oh, so that's actual.
It's live action. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the actual show. So yeah, some of the costumes and stuff is a little. You're like, is it legit? Like some of the still shots you're looking at, you're like, this doesn't look like it was that good, but.
It apparently was fucking hot.
They did a pretty good job with what One Piece is. And it actually works a lot better than most live action remakes of anime, which is
Nami's
wild.
wig is
horrendous.
Yeah, it's not great.
Just really bad.
Especially in this shot, it's terrible.
All I can see is Carrie Byron, Grant Imahara, and Tori Belleci.
If y'all don't, I'm assuming you don't know Mythbusters that well.
No.
Oh my fucking Christ. Oh my God. I was sitting here just like, why does she look so familiar?
Oh my God.
What was their team called? They had a name for that team.
Yeah, it was the Build Team.
Yeah, I think that's right.
What are they doing now?
I think just off doing random bullshit. There has to be one where they're lined up correctly.
His hair honestly does look kind of like the Zoro.
Bruh.
Yeah, Nami, Luffy, and Zoro.
Or
White Rabbit Project. Is that a thing they're currently doing? Anyway.
Interesting. That's funny though.
Like Adam was off doing his own thing. Oh my fucking God, it's goddamn perfect. It's actually perfect.
It's pretty good.
Grant died.
What?
Oh, really? You haven't heard about that?
No.
A few years ago. I think he was in his 40s.
Grant, did I hear about this? What is Grant Imahara? You just had his name up, please. Thank you.
He died in 2020. What the fuck happened?
What the fuck happened?
I can't remember.
I might have heard about this actually.
He had a fucking aneurysm?
Oh.
I think I did hear about this.
So he had an aneurysm, it went undiagnosed, and then it ruptured and he died.
Oh shit.
Damn. Way to bring the mood down.
Sorry.
He was always so hot.
And we're back up, everybody.
All right, back up again. Oh man, I forgot about man.
Well, yeah.
Anywho,
so yeah, the showrunner's taking a break.
Good for him. Well deserved.
The season is done, and sounds like he wants to come back and continue. He just needs a break.
Also, like, I fucking hate these article titles.
Yeah.
You could have just said the showrunner stepping on. Like, even if you're gonna clickbait, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's better ways.
Right.
You can clickbait better than this.
Mm-hmm.
That is like the most unnecessary.
Netflix director quits.
Yeah,
right?
Like that's not even how I saw the news. I saw the news with the like a picture of like his Instagram story post of like the thank you, I'm just taking a break or whatever. I saw that.
Nice. Going forward on Netflix is also actively misleading.
Honestly,
right.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's that Wednesday article all over again.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yes.
what was it?
She like stormed off set or
yeah,
something.
Jenna Ortega it wasn't storms off, but it was basically like leaves set or like it takes away like it walks away from the set or some shit. And it's like you read the article and it's like, yeah, they wrapped up season 2 filming. Like she's going to her next project
because they're done with season 2.
They're done with season. Like if you motherfuckers don't shut up. But hell yeah, bro, take a break, man. Well deserved. Well deserved. I hope Elon McFarlane here also takes a break. I'm sure you deserve it too.
You're not helping.
I'm never helping.
You're not helping his mental health.
I'm never helping the mental health.
That's right. That's why I'm not living with you anymore.
That's fair. Final announcement from this segment: live action Solo Leveling. I think it's a movie. I don't think it's not a series. It's a movie, right?
I don't really know.
All right.
Really, you know, I don't think the people who wrote this article know that much about it. Besides, it was announced. So,
I thought that this was. I was surprised.
Yeah,
I was surprised when we pulled this up, and then I was thinking, man, back in 2018, that's when the anime was announced, so it hasn't been that long. I guess I'm so used to the Disney adaptations where you gotta wait 20 years and then refresh the IP, and then instead it's just become a formula where they're like, okay, the animated did well,
we gotta capitalize, we gotta
keep that engine going, keep the money printing.
Which honestly feels like just as bad a decision in the opposite direction, in my opinion. We'll see if this works out.
You know what I would actually love live action though?
What's that?
Is Kaiju number 8. I was looking at the.
Yeah, that would be pretty interesting. You know, they could make that work.
I just want to see the costumes.
Yeah.
In live action, I want to see the photorealistic kaiju.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's just like old day Godzilla, like the puppet.
That would be amazing. That would be actually amazing if they decided to do it that way.
Exactly.
Oh man.
All the shot from like a season that because that was a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
it really was.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I don't know. Have they announced what they have?
Yeah, season 2 is coming soon. I don't know when though.
I probably should have said season 2.
Like there's
almost
July.
over. Set to premiere July 2025. So pretty soon.
Shit.
Yeah,
we gotta blast through One Piece because it's gonna come right back and we're gonna be busy.
Black Clover's coming out with more shit.
Do I need to watch Black Clover?
Black Clover is okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's the greatest for
Black
there's a reason why I
Clover
haven't
is like
talked
7
about it.
Deadly Sins, but not as good.
That's what that's the vibe I've always gotten off of it.
Well,
not as good, just that like it's Deadly Sins.
7 Deadly Sins season 1 was really good.
7 Deadly Sins season 1 was really good. I haven't seen anything else.
Okay, don't stop.
Stop. Please.
It's that bad.
Please. It gets bad.
Stop.
Oh, no.
Do not watch after season 1. Season 2's okay, but then it's a hard drop. Don't do it.
I just want to say it is a hard time to make this motherfucker dislike something that much. Like that's bad if he's saying that.
So I was watching the series around the time when we were still in college, and Kiwi had pretty much told me the same thing, and I was like, they can't possibly be. He's like, no, dude. Like the budget for animation kind of went down. Like the manga's one thing, but like the anime is a total other ththing. And they decided to take certain liberties and stuff with certain things. And I was like, oh really? He was like, yeah, don't do it. And I was like, well, let me dip my toe in it, and let's see. I see what he's talking about. It's not great. Don't do it. Season 1, if that's your only a familiarity with Deadly Sins, yes, it is really good.
Well, considering let's
very specifically the action and like some of the plot stuff. There's some like weird dynamics that are like, in season 1, but like in general, the action, the mystery in that first season was real fun.
Yeah.
Do you have specific examples you could talk about in season 2 that's like, let's put like a spoiler block in here right quick.
So, I mean, if you looked up like 7 Deadly Sins like animation, you'll probably see some images of like the animation drop off, but it isn't just the animation drop off. It seems like they build up to different plots kind of for it to like fizzle out. And I don't know if that's an anime only thing or also a manga thing, but I rarely hear people talk about how bad the manga is.
Oh, wow.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I've never seen 7 Deadly Sins, so I have no fucking idea.
It's been a long time. I watched that around the time then Netflix was the only way I could watch anime, and it was one of the first ones that was sort of like on there.
Fair enough.
I think it's also why I was watching Black Clover as well. And I remember it being interesting, but it's extremely generic from what I remember.
It looks like it.
There's not a lot that sets it apart from anything else.
White hair protagonist, body of a teenager, but insanely ripped with a giant sword.
Like, if you consume like shonen, like, you know, I'm gonna be the insert highest position of power of that world here, like, yeah, it's
King of the Pirates, Hokage,
the strongest superhero.
Yeah, in this case it's the Wizard King. Like, okay, you pretty much know what you're in for.
Yeah.
And you're just like, okay, am I invested enough into this character's, like, you know, growth over time and like the connections he makes? And, you know, people argue about certain dubs, and it's like, okay, how annoying is this character's voice?
If that's what you have to be negotiating on, it's not
right.
But I don't know. There's a lot that you can scrutinize about the series. I kind of enjoy just because I enjoy that type of genre, and it's like, yeah, okay, I watched this character become the thing he said he wanted to be from episode 1. Like, cool. Like, I don't know. I like that shit.
That's it. Like, yeah, I like a good. He got his reward.
Yeah, there are really cool
Reach your
moments and
goals.
animation sequences in that show for sure.
Right.
So like, I don't know. It was enough for me to stay, you know, kind of in it, right, when it was running. So, but it just isn't in my top, like, I don't even think it's in my top 5 or anything like that. But it's a show if you're interested in it.
I feel like it fills that filler spot real nicely, where you're like, I've been really enjoying this genre. I've been enjoying this genre. I've been enjoying this kind of thing, and I want something more that's like it.
Yeah,
I want something more that's like it, and I just kind of want to fill. It's your rebound.
Rebound.
No, that's actually really good, because there have been like other shows that have like come out, and it's like, okay, well, let me take a break from, you know, Black Clover, watch pretty much binge this show. It's like, okay, back to Clover. So yeah, that's a perfect way.
Like, it's not like bad. It's just not something I would be like, you gotta watch.
It's not a must watch. It's worth. If you like this shit, you'll like it.
Yeah, because I remember I really enjoyed it when I was watching it, but there's nothing I've seen that I would recommend it over.
Fair.
So
it's not doing anything new.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that do things new, and I would recommend, apparently Windbreaker season 2 is coming April of this year.
Oh, dang!
So a little over a month.
That's very exciting.
I haven't seen this.
I didn't really watch that with you guys. I should go.
You
back
did not. You should.
Give it a watch.
It is really fucking good. It is really, really good.
Maybe I should read it. Then
reading it might not be a bad option either. But like the animations are like the fighting choreography and like everything going on. It's just such a good for like no real magic bullshit going on. Like there's no mysticism, no ki and chi and all that. Your fighting prowess is like kind of teetering on the edge of that shit, but like it's for what's supposed to be like a grounded, more reality, almost slice. I called it basically a slice of life shonen when we first talked about it. It is really fucking good. It's really good. Not edge of your seat like Solo Leveling is. I will put it on the same level as like Apothecary Diaries, where it's just really good for what it's doing. It's not going to be like a World Force or going to be taking over like Solo Leveling is right now, but it's really like, it's one of those things I would heavily recommend anybody watch. So excited to see that that's coming back in April of this year.
Nice. I'll have to get on that.
And that was a daisy chain of animes coming back this year.
Yeah. I mean, and getting back to Solo Leveling, I didn't say this as anything I wanted to talk about, but I wanted to mention it. Apparently, the most recent episode that dropped of Solo Leveling is like the most liked episode on Crunchyroll. Like it's like breaking records. Apparently, like the show is, but like on Crunchyroll, like the latest.
It doesn't surprise me. It's one of the big.
Hold on. Did you say it's one of the most liked episodes?
Yes.
Okay.
On the Crunchyroll platform.
On the Crunchyroll.
It is the most liked episode.
Oh, liked.
Yeah.
I heard light, as in like lightweight.
Oh no, light.
I heard liked every single time. When you repeated it back to him, I heard like.
I heard light. Like my brain was like, he said light, and I was like, I thought it was a good episode.
No.
Everybody was like, it's a great episode. I was like, I thought like I know the one that we watched because like the way I think we talked about it last week. I have not. I know the most recent one you're talking about.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
We haven't seen it yet because the way we watch it is always
right.
Always a week late, and then this comes out a week late, so we're 2 weeks late.
Which I guess it comes out on a Saturday actually, so it's like we're literally seeing it the day when we watched the last episode the day before the new episode comes out.
Yeah,
and it's just kind of how it worked out.
I saw a meme where it's like every Saturday morning. I was like, oh yeah, dang.
Oh shit. I've been thinking about cheating and just going on and watching the episode, but I'm holding off.
I'm thinking about watching because the dub is 2 episodes behind. I'm thinking about just watching the next episode so that on Friday when I come over, I could just watch it with you and catch up. Fuck the dub because everybody's so hyping everything up and it's warranted.
Able are hyping the fuck up out of this show. I have never been more spoiled on a popular show than I have been with Solo Leveling. Like literally, I know everything that happens in the next episode just because of my Facebook feeds. like it's just luckily I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna enjoy it either way. But it's like, man, if I really wanted to enjoy this the way other people do, I'd have to just stay off Facebook because it's not doing me no good.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, the next episode. That's why I was like, what do you mean it's light? I was like, that episode was crazy. What? Everything I've heard about it.
Oh, yeah.
But no, that makes more sense. That makes way more sense.
So
since people don't like crying Gene Woo.
They like fighting.
To contrast the most disliked episode.
Right? The most heavily criticized. Our protagonist has emotions.
I think the episode...
Fuck yourself. Die in a hole. Like, what's wrong with you? And then I'm part of the problem as I say these things, but...
Well, yeah. Yeah, do that. We're going to watch the newest episode probably this Friday.
I ain't got nothing going on. Do we have anything going on?
I hope not. I do have... Oh, shit. I got to make a post about disc golf. Because my disc golf league started up this week. But yeah, no. So live action Solo Leveling. I guess we'll hear more information going forward. I've seen some clips. I think they were supposed to be clips. I'm not entirely sure if they're like fan made stuff or they're actual clips.
Yeah, I think everything because the announcement of MJ showed me this. She was like, "Hey, check this out! They announced this," and I was like, "I feel like if it was official, it would have been blasted everywhere." And what she showed me, I was like, "Okay, this seems like it's like a fan thing," and it definitely was, but the post that it brings you to and when you translate it, I don't think it's really talking much about a live action.
Yeah, the fact that even that article called this a general plan, I think they might have finally gotten some like ink probably has not dried yet, but some contracts are probably like in the go to start doing pre-production. Like we're probably not even in pre-production at this point. That's my best guess though, and I'm not going to read through all of this.
Yeah, but there are fan fan animations and like films of what this could look like out there that are interesting.
Right.
But I mean, I don't know. I'm just interested to see what this is gonna look like because this could be difficult. But we said that about One Piece.
We did say that about One Piece. I think Solo Leveling lends itself a little better, but you're gonna have to have fight choreography between real people and definitely gonna be animated unless someone's gonna really put in that budget to get like good looking suits of armor and on actors and shit. Well, we'll see. I guess we'll hear about it. Let's take one more break.
Okay.
And then come back and get into some of our final stuff because we got.
Do you want?
All right. Oh, what's up?
Oh, sorry. I was gonna interrupt you, but it was a after break thought.
Okay. Because there's one big thing we're gonna have to go in to talk about, and yeah. So be right back.
In my dreams, I'll go to the Duolingo cult.
Fuck yeah. Let's get high and go to the Duolingo. Let's go to Germany. Let's just fucking go to Germany.
I just remembered that Electric Forest actually takes place like an hour from here.
Speaking of electric things, so
really
what can I say, bitch? I'm an opportunist. So this was something that just kind of popped the fuck up in my feeds on Reddit.
Randomly?
And just randomly, I was just on Reddit, like looking through stories and shit. I forgot. I wasn't even like looking for like stories for the podcast or anything. I think I was on there. I think I was looking up like DaVinci Resolve shit or something, and went to my Reddit homepage and a post in Animusic had happened, and it says, so a while back I messaged Wayne Little on LinkedIn with questions about Animusic 3 and if it was gone forever. If you do not know, Wayne Little is essentially the forerunner for Animusic. He was one of the two co-creators. And if it was gone forever, I got this response. I'll let you read it, but I felt like I should share the fact that A3 might not be as lost as we all thought. Wayne Little says, thank you for your kind words. Really glad you enjoyed Animusic. Thanks for asking about A3. I did step away from all production for a few years, actually, but not permanently. A few years is a wild statement to say, as it's been like 13 fucking years since the last time we've heard anything about Animusic.
The age of a 13-year-old child.
Right? Like, so anyone who's not familiar, Animusic is a I heard him. Yeah.
That's practically a man.
It's basically an adult. I wish I hadn't said that.
Me too. I really wish you hadn't
I'm
said
glad
that
I didn't
either.
hear that. Whatever the first initial
You just fucking
statement
bleep.
Good. You have
the less
heard
we
it, and
talk
they're
about
not
it,
gonna
the
hear
easier
either.
it is to bleep it out.
Yeah. Actually, no, it's a lot more funny that I'm going to bleep it out, and then we're just not going to talk about what I said.
So you're going to keep his stuff in there?
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be real obvious, but it's going to be really funny. But no, so Animusic was a really cool, it was like DVD / like PBS release, or at least they aired it on PBS, but really cool just animation of a mix of like music and 3D animation where you get it. Most people, if you're watching us, you know what the fuck Animusic was, but on the off chance you haven't, it was
If
just
you got our brand of autism, you know
what
Animusic is.
You also have a pocket computer. Just go look it up.
You also, go look it up. But we're a podcast. We like to give information out here. But it was just a really cool fusion of like.
I think we talked about this on the podcast.
We
before.
definitely probably
I feel like we have, yeah.
But my memory's not that good, so I'm going to do it again anyway, and then do it again sometime in the future. If and when Animusic 3 ever fucking drops. But yeah,
if it drops,
don't get your hopes up too high. Like this is the most like non-committal, like. Yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna come back to it soon. Like the way I'm saying I'm gonna go on a diet type shit. Like, yeah,
Animusic saying I'm gonna find this. I'm not,
fair enough. Animusic 3 was the dopest shit. It has really good music and really cool animations. That's pretty much all you gotta know.
Robots playing music.
Animated
music. Robots playing music.
themselves. It's crazy.
It's like Rube Goldberg meets. What's the Disney music visual?
Oh, Fantasia?
Yeah, it's like Rube Goldberg meets Fantasia meets PBS. It's so good.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good way to go. We got Animusic, so Animusic 1 and 2 happened fucking forever ago. I don't even think I was in college by the time Animusic 2 had happened.
I was watching it on the couch at home.
Same, right? Like
I had the DVDs, and I burned the fuck out of those DVDs.
That's fair. I do have the Animusics like torn to them, but I do have them, and they're available on YouTube too. We should watch those actually.
We should get high and just.
Oh my god!
I say that like I've gotten high before.
You have.
Every
time we do this, we have to remind you that you've been high before.
That's right.
Hey, you're gonna do it again.
Yeah, you're gonna do it again, and we're gonna watch Animusic 1 and 2, which is honestly like a solid hour and a half. I think that's it to watch through both of them.
Do you think those are like? Do you think they make the music and then animate it, or do you think there's some sort of like interactive component where like,
as I understand it, there isn't. Like, it's obviously composed beforehand, but it is then piped into a software that converts it. So like
the MIDI to
pretty much when you see a ball hit a symbol in the animation, it is playing the noise as need be.
Wow.
Which is really fucking cool.
It's a crazy piece of software that like this thing has been in development hell, like I said, for over a decade, because we got Animusic 1 and 2. We got the announcement that Animusic 3 was going to be a thing. I have been praying for Animusic 3 since before I entered college, right?
You and a lot of other people too, because there have been a lot of fan like creations to the point where even someone pretty much set up this system in a different way, but like using Blender.
Right.
They pretty much set up a similar system where it's MIDI inputs and it does the same thing. They're animating
digital Wintergarten.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of Marble Machine shit. Excuse me. Sorry. But yeah, so
we should make a reel in Unreal. We could do that.
Oh, easily. So that's what I was about to say, right? It's crazy that they've been sitting on this for so long because they did the whole Kickstarter thing. Like they have a fully funded Kickstarter that they've just been kind of sitting on.
Really?
That's been funded since like 2013. And it's like that's where this kind of like tips into controversial area.
Yeah.
Because it's like y'all been sitting on this money for a long, like you've had this money and it was fully funded.
Is that that's got to be against Kickstarter rule somehow.
They haven't canceled the project yet, and I think that's what makes it murky and gray. Because technically it's still going. Now, the reason they initially stepped away was a number of reasons. One of them was health related. Like I want to say it was Wayne Little had like some neck issues going on or something and some health stuff that he had to step away for. And then that turned into his partners ended up stepping away, I think just out of burnout or some shit. Just couldn't keep up with it anymore. But yes, they stepped away. And now here we are 13 years later, still kind of hearing about it. So having like dangle of hope.
Wayne Little still doesn't have a neck. I mean, look at his.
Like, so now we have a glimmer of hope that it will be a thing. Most of the people in the comments are just talking about how it's been like in 2005, I'm born. Animusic 2 just came out. People are waiting for Animusic 3. In 2015, I'm 10. We are waiting for Animusic 3. In 2025, I'm 20. We are waiting for Animusic 3. It's 2023 and people will still think Animusic 3 will come out. By then, Sora will be able to generate Animusic-like videos and Wayne will be too old to finish the real ones anyway.
What's the tab that you opened Animusic 3
So
with?
I was going to bring this up because along with this, I was going through the comments and turns out he's been making regular-ish updates to an Animusic 3 work in progress.
Oh, shit.
I say regular-ish because the last time this was updated was 2023. But the fact that it was updated in 2023, 10 years after like we were supposed to be getting Animusic 3 is wild. So you can go through and see sorry, I say him, not Wayne Little, David I can't pronounce the last name. Crognell.
I'm adding a letter there, but
that's fair.
But he was the other person on it?
He does a lot of the art design and stuff. He is one of the artists. I don't think it's the main. I don't think it was the co-creator.
God, it feels like I'm going back in time, but it's new. I want it. I need it.
I want this. You don't understand how badly I want Animusic 3. Even if they're like, this is it. This is all the Animusic we're getting. Just give me this. Give it to me. That's all I want. Granted, honestly, even if we don't get Animusic 3, I would love if they put the software, if they just like put the software out as open source.
GitHub it and
let people start just taking it and doing whatever the fuck. Because like you could get some real. Do you know how dope it would be to have an Animusic on Steam? Just an Animusic create your own bullshit on Steam.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Like
that would be amazing.
That would be fucking astonishing.
And
like
that would have contests and stuff to see like
right.
Oh my gosh, that'd be crazy.
Like this was one of the things that like established like I really wanted to do 3D animation because just how fucking cool this shit is. It's so bittersweet because now all I want is Animusic 3 and I don't have enough hope within me to believe we'll actually get it. I think Wayne believes he wants to continue doing it. I just don't think it's.
What if we hunted down Wayne Little and then like held one of his family members hostage or something?
We could do that. Dangle him over the pit where George R.R. Martin is supposed to be writing the fucking finale. Does anybody remember that when George was like, right before COVID, George R.R. Martin was like, if I don't finish the final books for Game of Thrones, y'all have my permission to kidnap me, lock me in a tower over a sulfur pit, and force me to, until I get them fucking written. And then COVID hit, and everybody just kind of forgot about that. But like, oh my fucking god, it was like, yeah, just hold some of your family hostage until you do Animusic 3. It's. I was about to say something, realize it's a pun, but it's a very apt pun. It's a fucking pipe dream. It's a pipe dream.
Yeah.
It's a pipe dream 3, as a matter of fact.
Bruh.
Hopefully we'll eventually get pipe dream 3, because pipe dream was my favorite.
So good.
Of Animusic 1 and 2, even including pipe dream 2. Pipe dream, the first one, is my favorite Animusic music video. Like,
can you quote the whole song?
Dun 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 dun. Oh my fucking god, I love that goddamn.
We could do this all day.
We honestly could. If y'all weren't here for the conversation about ADHD and autism.
You know what? I need to get that test.
Well, no, you don't understand how many hours I put into just watching those animations. Don't give me hope. Don't give me hope. I was finally at a place where I had forgotten about it. I wasn't thinking about Animusic 3. And then fucking 5 days ago, I had to go and see this bullshit.
Yup.
Knowing damn well we're probably not getting Animusic 3 in our lifetime.
Ruben's going to have to become Buddhist to quell his earthly desires for Animusic 3.
See, now I'm going to have to spam Animusic for the rest of the week.
For the rest of the fucking week, right? Oh, man. We're getting high and watching Animusic. The Animusic's 1 and 2.
After solo leveling, let's do it, baby.
Absolutely. I guess we did. Anyway. But yeah, so that was just.
What if we did his seafood boil?
Almost. We have to give it a little more time to build anticipation.
No, we went to Butcher's Union last week. We don't have the money for that.
We really fucking don't. I look back at that week. I'm really happy we did it. I need a better financial situation to do it. I'm definitely not doing 2 fucking entrees. Like, so back on Friday, I had a really shit week last week. So like, I was like, man, I'm not up for cooking right now. You were doing shit with Michaela. He was off with Bailey. So I just told, like, you were asking me, like, was it what I plan on cooking? I was like, dude, I'm not feeling it this week. Like, just, it's not my fucking week. And he was like, dude, I got a membership to the Y. Let's go. We're going to do some edibles. We're going to go chill in the hot tub. We're going to work out, do edibles, chill in the hot tub. And I was like, and what if we also just like go to Butcher's Union? And I was like, of course we can do that.
I was like, are you fucking kidding?
And so we ended up
boys
doing
night
that.
out.
Little boys, straight up. Little boys night out. Walked over, pumped, sat in the hot tub, came back, then headed over to Butcher's Union. Oh my fucking God, that food was so good. And we both did something really stupid, which was we both ordered 2 entrees.
Oh shit!
God, it was so good. And we both finished our entrees.
We did. We both ate everything.
We were high.
We got 2 drinks and an appetizer each.
Yeah,
and then 2 entrees. And then I wanted dessert.
He wanted dessert. I did not realize you wanted dessert until we were leaving.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I didn't say anything because even though I wanted dessert, I should not have ordered dessert.
Shouldn't order dessert.
Would it be somewhat comparable to the whole meal that we ended up having in Florida?
Oh, not even close. Not even close. If you're talking monetary wise, that was still way more than what the fuck we paid here. Those 2 entrees.
No, we paid more at Butcher's Union. At least I did.
I don't think. I mean, we paid more.
Okay,
yes,
yeah,
you
but
gotta
we
think of
did
what
also
got.
did get 2 entrees.
We got 2 entrees, 2 drinks.
You're right. You're right. I still think that my steak at Butcher's Union, in terms of like as a steak,
was better than the one we had on the floor. 100%.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It was better,
But
not by a lot. That one down there was really fucking good too.
But I think they're comparable.
Yes.
Right. Like I spent I think $108, and at Butcher's Union I think it was $160. I don't remember how much,
because I think I got away with 180 and you had like 170. I think you had 180.
Yeah.
We spent quite a bit. We spent a lot of fucking money.
I mean,
but
that's more than we did.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's more than what we spent individually,
yeah.
but remember those were single entree.
Single entree.
Remember, we paid.
We didn't get any. I don't think we were drinking.
And they comped it. They gave us like a fleet of. Man, I fucking love that place. I love our
I have that
service
picture.
so much. Yeah, so do I. I still
like
got all that stuff.
Yeah, it's sitting on my dresser.
But they comped all of our desserts. Like, so we didn't even have to pay for dessert. So we spent that on literally a single entree a piece. Plus the Wagyu, I think, was 100 alone.
Yeah.
Like 8 ounces of that Wagyu. So yeah, like while we spent more in this trip, you got to think that we got way more through this in this trip than we did there.
But man,
really fucking good.
So good.
Like I was sitting in that atmosphere, high, just eating really fucking
just
good.
Like they're playing some of the coolest music I've ever heard in my life.
It was crazy how good of the music they were playing.
What if like when you're high, is it like the food and?
No, 100%. That is absolutely what's going on.
I still have but I still have some of that shit Shazam because it was like fucking Dust by Paris Courts.
Right?
Like
we were fucking vibing.
We were just like,
and the room they had us in was we have to go there one day. The room they had us in had like the ceiling was like a, what do they call those?
Like a hanging garden.
It was like a hanging garden, and then like there was the windows or like the bubble windows,
corrugated plastic.
Yeah, that looked up. So it was, and it was like this super dark atmosphere, like kind of room. And then we were back there in this dark room. Both of us are high. The music's just like going. It's like, man, this fucking playlist is sick.
Man. Everybody, I was like. I was having a crisis of faith because I was like, I don't think something's allowed to taste this good
and not be created by a creator.
Yeah, I was just like, either God himself came down and was like, deliciousness, or like I was like, does this taste good because I'm about to spend $100 on it, or does this actually taste this fucking good?
Why not both or all?
Could be all of the above.
I honestly, it was just like
right. It's
currently
just what
jizzing as we speak.
When I woke up,
I'm
the next
still
day,
coming. It's about a week later, and it hasn't stopped yet.
It's just like when I woke up the next day and like had that entire bill just hit my fucking bank account. I was like, ugh. But I don't regret it. It was a lot of fucking fun.
Some things are worth it.
Some things are fucking worth it. And yeah, so
that's why I'm gonna drive myself into debt at Butcher's Union.
Sponsors.
You can get DoorDash on Klarna now.
Really?
Yep.
How much are you door dashing that like you need a Klarna payment plan?
I was gonna say that's actually concerning.
That's concerning.
That Klarna was like, you know what? Let us help. Let us help
get in there.
your users.
You gotta buy now, pay later for that burrito.
I mean, it helps me make bad decisions.
Don't tell me that.
Oh God.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I haven't DoorDashed in months.
Don't go into debt for burrito.
Please don't. Oh,
in a relapse.
I'm not.
He's good.
I've realized that I can walk there now, and walking is fun.
Yeah,
it is fun. It is fun.
Actually, I might go get a hot dog after this. I think Bridge Street. I'm gonna check.
They're open till like 2, right?
They are, but this weekend I don't know if they're doing that during that.
Oh yeah, fair.
Should be.
God, I don't want to talk about this, but we kind of have to talk about it, and I kind of want to talk about it. So, Snow White, that's a thing that I think Disney's trying to move past very quickly.
Yeah.
Because holy, this movie is a mess. At least everything I've heard of it.
I mean, the numbers say
The
as
numbers
much.
say it's a fucking mess. Oh Jesus!
But I mean, it's always funny when I look at numbers and it's like it only made 50 million. I'm like,
right?
Only, I mean,
but in fairness, of a budget of what, 250 mil, I think?
250 mil. That's a loss,
right?
bro.
And you're Disney, like.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain, like we talk about like it made 50 mil. I think it was close to like 45 mil in America. Even domestically, it only made like another 40. I think it was like 43 in America and like 47 internationally, which is really fucking bad. Really bad.
Yeah. Their worst live action to date, I think, is what.
Something like that. Something like that.
Mhm.
Did y'all know fucking Lady and the Tramp live action happened?
Yeah.
I was
barely marketed, but like Disney Plus.
It was a Disney Plus, so it's a Disney Plus exclusive kind of thing. Straight to Disney Plus.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah, it's like Lady and the Tramp fucking happened. I was like looking through because it was like when this came up, I was looking through stuff and I was like, wait, Lady and the Tramp. So you shared some insights because I had initially shared like an article about the terrible box office numbers. 43 million.
Not even
this
50.
fucking movie's doing in its opening week. And then you kind of follow that up with this video by Saber Sparks and his review of it, which it's scathing.
Yeah, very scathing.
And in there he had shown a clip of the Lady of the Tramp. And I was like, wait, fucking what?
Yeah.
That was a Lady of the Tramp remake?
Yep, I didn't see it.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, no, it's bad. And
who plays the dogs in that?
That's the fun part. There are no dogs. That'd be really fucking funny.
Live action human actors.
Live action human actors, Lady and the Tramp. This comment you posted from that video kind of laundry lists some of the reasons why this thing was terrible. So it says, I've scrounged up as much info as I can, so here are the sequence of events.
And this is a comment from, again, this is Saber Sparks' review of Snow White, and this is one of the comments by...
There will be a link of it up in the corner, by the way.
Yeah, the other Jared 9824's comment.
Yes. So one, Peter Dinklage claims little people should not play the dwarves, leading to the infamous image of the not dwarves. 2, other little people pushed back, claiming he's an elitist screwing over working actors. 3, Rachel Zegler wouldn't stop saying questionable things, making herself a target for people already objecting to her skin color, causing her to spiral further. 4, Disney spent literal years on reshoots and making the dwarf CGI. 5, during the reshoots, Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot butted heads over world events that started at the time. Israel-Palestine, by the way. 6, the drama behind the movie became more interesting than the movie, making a content farm for YouTubers. 7, the movie limps to the finish line without much fanfare.
Yeah.
This movie seems like it was kind of a dumpster fire for a lot of it. So starting with the Peter Dinklage thing, I had no idea.
I didn't know that
He's
that's where
the
that
reason we
started.
don't have little people playing dwarves. Because I remember when we saw the trailer of this, it was a couple months ago. I was like, why didn't we just fucking hire little people or some shit to like be the dwarves or something? These CGI dwarves look like ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to say he was the definitive reason, but like he definitely played a part in why.
He's the biggest little person actor right now.
Yeah.
Irony aside. And I could fully see that being I'm going to have this, like, you got to be, and like, I 100%, I get it. You don't want to be typecast of like, little people have to be dwarves or like have to always be the small thing in the role, right? It was like, it's fantastic. You got to be Tyrion in Game of Thrones and you got to have like a lineage that was not based on you being a little person. That was like, it's part of your character, but it wasn't your sole character. But then we get into object number 2 of like other little people who are looking for fucking work. Are like, can you shut the fuck up? I need a job, bitch. Like,
I know you're set for life,
right? Like, could you imagine? I can never remember his name, but the dude who played Mini Me in Austin Powers, talking about how like little people shouldn't be typecast. It's like, motherfucker, you don't get to like secure your bag. And then like you're basically pulling the ladder up behind you when you do shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. I mean, I don't have a good answer on that, but I mean, I think people wanting work where the work would be made available for them, I think that's very reasonable.
That's a fair thing to want.
Yeah.
But I've not dug deep enough to find out like what the little people community like truly feel about like the diaspora of like how many people feel this way one way or the other, right? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people who also feel like they don't want to be typecast. Like, do dwarves have to be played by little people? I'm sure some people have the thing about that, but also like a working little person actor would probably want to be able to have a role tailor-made for them. The Rachel Ziegler wouldn't stop saying questionable things. Now, I don't know if this is one of those questionable things. This was something that came up in the video, but I don't really know if this is referring to that. But this was an interesting read, no less. So I'm not certain where video this comes from. But
yeah, I don't know either.
Someone comments, I know that if we make a live action Snow White in 2023 versus 1937, it's obviously going to be a lot different. I'm just curious on your intake of the 1937 film. I know in some interviews you've said it's extremely dated, and I understand it's an old film, but other than that, what's really outdated about it? Just because she finds true love and gets kissed by the prince? I know it was made a long time ago, but sometimes seeing the hopeless romantic stories come true is all some of us that love the original films want to see. There'll always be movies that people could make about
this person's grammar isn't the greatest.
Grammar and spelling is not great. There will always be movies that people could make about being a strong, independent woman, but are you worried that not a lot of people are not going to show much interest because it's a lot different than the original?
And this had to have been on one of her videos. This is a YouTube thing.
Is this?
Yeah,
this
Saber Sparks said specifically like this was a YouTube conversation, and it must have been under one of Rachel's videos or something because of how it's highlighted.
Yeah.
Her name is highlighted, so it's one of her videos.
Yeah. First, let me thank you for lack of attack.
And this is her.
This is Rachel Ziegler responding, by the way. First, let me thank you for lack of attack. Also, as I read this is going to be the most this was ran through lawyers and PR teams, most bullshit thing I've ever fucking read. Not even like her opinion expressed, just literally the wording and how it's written is the most like, this feels corporate and I don't like it. Thank you for the lack of attack here. It means a lot to me. A lot of those clips are being compiled together to make it seem like I hate the source material. I am the biggest Disney fan and a huge Disney princess girl. Our reality is that it's a movie from 1937. No one has ever said that it is wrong to dream of love. No one has ever said that a woman must choose between her career and love. That is a lot of assumptions based off of small, short clips of myself saying that I was A, terrified of the original film as a kid because of the spooky forest scene, true story, and B, told to really sell the fact that her character is much bigger and broader than Someday My Prince Will Come, and I'm wishing for the one I love. Greta Gerwig once wrote, just because my dreams look different than yours doesn't mean they're unimportant. But she also wrote, I am so sick of love being the only thing a woman is fit for. There's a dichotomy within women, within people, when it comes to our lives and the paths we take. The paths I've taken in my own life has been very work focused, and I found love along the way. No one ever said that couldn't happen for Snow White. It's just that it isn't the basis of her character this time around. Her I want songs are not about wanting love and nothing more, though there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but about wanting to be the leader her father always knew she could be. People complain about remakes because there are no original ideas, and then they complain about the changes that many brilliant minds have thought of to make them more original. It's kind of frustrating, no? I have a number of problems with. One, the person that Rachel's responding to here is like, don't you think you're going to turn off a lot of people by trying to modernize this fucking story?
Mm-hmm.
That's the premise of the comment that she's responding to. The way she responds goes, no, you got it all wrong. It's just that I 100% believe. No, it's not that I hate the source material. It's just that I don't want to do the source material. Okay, let's start there. Like, okay,
I'm gonna do my own thing.
I'm gonna do my own thing type shit, right? It's when like this person's entire thing is like the deviation from the source material is the problem. Like that's the problem, is how far we're deviating from the source material, right? Then it kind of like this last little bit kind of throws a curve of people complain about the remakes because there are no original ideas, and then they complain about the changes that many brilliant minds have. The thing that people are complaining about is that you're doing remakes. It's that when people say because there's no original ideas, it's because we want original movies. Going, oh, we're changing this thing about a fucking remake does not satiate the problem of wanting original ideas. You're still doing a remake, and you're just fucking with people's nostalgia at this point.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not frustrating because you're being willfully obtuse. Or whoever the fuck wrote this is being willfully obtuse. I'm sure many a lawyer had a hand in before this made it to.
I don't know if they would let all those
spelling mistakes
and no caps after periods.
You got to make it look human.
If I can, well, if I'm finding grammar problems, that's a problem,
right?
Because I use Grammarly for my shit.
True.
Like that's
sponsored.
That's how I know I'm
sponsored.
Okay.
I'm just imagining every text that you send now, you're just running it through Grammarly. Wait, really?
I have the Grammarly keyboard. I use it. Yeah.
Oh, that's smart, actually. Damn, I need that.
Right. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I kind of get what you're saying. I think I have different feelings about this, but I do agree that it's kind of a bit of a nothing response.
Right.
Where I get what she's saying, where she's like, there's a dichotomy in women. Like, being a woman is more than just finding love and living in a shack in the woods.
Right.
But that is what the original Snow White is about. And if you're going to deviate from that, you should probably, you can't both deviate from that and tell the original story.
Yeah.
You have to make it about something different if you want to tell a different story through the lens of, the story of Snow White, which is something it's totally possible to do. We see like great reboots that do things like that all the time. That's the whole point of releasing, copyrighted material to the public, is that they can take the same frame or something that you recognize and then shift the frame so that you can tell an interesting story with these known characters. But
something that's very interesting to me was, as I was watching this dude's review of it, it made me think of Tangled and Rapunzel. And Rapunzel did what I think Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot think they're doing here, where they made Rapunzel more than just a damsel in a tower.
Yeah.
And you can do that. Like, that's, I don't think, like, we like, it's as someone who hasn't really seen Tangled like that, I just know of Tangled and just through cultural zeitgeist, is like, I feel like that showed you a way to do this. Whereas when you start getting stuff like Snow White, and it feels much more, it feels much more shoehorned in trying to girl power this in a way that feels way more obvious and soulless compared to just creating a story that is about more than that, right? Like, even if, like, I 100% understand the want to have it, like, in a modern day sensibility, wanting to have, like, even though this character was created in 1937s, and you want to modernize it and make it like much more palatable for like sensibilities now, right? You don't want to make it you probably should make it a 1-to-1 if you're going to keep calling it a 1-to-1. This is not to Rachel Zegler, this is to Disney. But let's not call it a 1-to-1 if we're not going to do that. But at the same time, wanting to tell the story with like more modern contrivances, right? And you can do that, but it's just the way that they handled it with this movie feels like the corporate version of like, the people want girl bosses. And it's like, people are going to pick up on that and are going to fucking hate it.
Like, just the fact that they're framing it as a dichotomy between love and career, I think shows a little bit of a lack of connection between what the actual struggle is.
Right.
Choice feminism is, I don't know. I feel from what I take from the sources that I listen to when it comes to like people who discuss feminism and stuff like that, we've moved way past choice feminism, and I don't think that that's what the communities are really discussing or considering right now.
Someone says it in a comment of one of the reasons that she finds the girl boss thing kind of grating is. It kind of ties into the we've moved past the choice feminism thing, is because to do it kind of almost implicitly states that the want to just be a homemaker is inherently wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of folks, at least from what I was reading, is starting to hit the point of like, girl bossing was great, but can we're doing the thing of we were forced into one role. We're breaking out of that, but now we're just being forced into yet a different role.
Mm-hmm.
You broke out of the kitchen, but now they won't let you back in if you want to go there.
Yeah, like it hits a point where you're kind of missing the point, as well as no one wants to be preached at by a Hollywood elite, and that's just never gonna go well. That's just not gonna work. This dude. The video we're from, okay, I can never remember how to say his name.
Saber Spark.
Yes. He does not like Gal Gadot.
No. It actually threw me way off guard when he was like, Gal Gadot cannot act. I was like,
hey, whoa.
And he was like, worst actor. I was like, oh, I mean, that's an opinion.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I don't know if I agree with that, but I don't, after watching the latest Wonder Woman movie, I don't actually care for her that much either.
That's
I won't
fair.
lie.
And it's a fair opinion to have, right?
Because I've never, the only things I know her in, I've never seen. So I have literally a base zero opinion about Gal Gadot. Like,
I just never heard anybody talk that scathingly
so
about
pissed with Gal Gadot.
her. And it made me rethink of all the things I've seen her in. And I'm like, I didn't really have that much of an issue with her and Wonder, but I guess I wasn't like really trying to scrutinize.
I wonder if his issue is with her acting or with political views.
It could be that too.
I don't know if that's his thing. I don't look into him deep enough. I've seen some of his videos and I do like his movie reviews, but I'm not deep diving enough. But it's one of those things where like, you are so angry with her that it makes me feel like it's not about her acting.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's about her political views, and then also I don't think she's that good of a director and a writer. But
she did the same thing with was it her? I want to say it was Gal Gadot, where she also did the rah girl power thing during like a press run. It wasn't. I'm sure she did it, but she's not who I'm thinking of. I'm thinking the lady who played Elphaba. Where they're doing the rah making this movie. Like, I think we talked about this in an episode where it was like, I don't know if you actors think it's probably all corporate PR, but it's like, I don't think y'all have as much power over this that y'all think y'all do. Like this, to the point that I'm like, I feel like y'all opinions are as much created in that writing room as almost everything else about this fucking movie. But that's really a neither here nor there opinion. I don't care enough about celebrities to deep dive on that, right? But yeah, like that whole thing was weird with Rachel. Then the reshoots and the dwarf CGI, like that's I'm curious to see scenes from it to see if that CGI looked better than what it did in the trailer. Because I didn't realize that we're years past when this was initially supposed to come out, when we first saw the trailer that we saw.
Was it because they used little people as actors? And
I don't think they ever got around to it. I think I think the idea of we shouldn't use little people as dwarves led to dwarves that weren't dwarves at all. Because the initial thing was, it was just people. It was just dudes acting.
Oh.
And then that got a backlash of its own of like, what the fuck is this?
Like, just like shrunk down, like...
No, I think it was just dudes.
I think it was just gonna be...
Like full-sized guys?
Yeah.
Oh.
Just
like
just
like,
not that other people remember, just like a full-sized...
Just a normal person.
Oh.
And we're being told that these are the dwarves, which is infinitely worse than just typecasting little people, right?
Yeah.
Like,
It feels like whitewashing. It feels like
it absolutely feels like whitewashing.
It's like we need to make a period film about slavery, but we don't want to cast black people in any of those slave roles because, I mean, we could just use white people.
Like, or we could anyway. But it's like
I don't know.
That's probably not like the same.
It's an interesting,
sort of parallel.
I understand what you're saying.
It's an interesting thought experiment.
As someone who doesn't have to be uncomfortable with the conversation of slavery, it illustrates the point. It illustrates the exact point of like you're trying so hard to be unoffensive that you essentially start taking food out of people's mouths to try and not be offensive to them. It's like, 'cause at the end of the day, like this is a job that was essentially very fit for someone. The job of the dwarves in a live action fucking remake that has live action all over its advertising and branding. The fact you're not using little people for it, when you could have absolutely just cast little people in it, is ridiculous. It is actually stupid. Like, but yeah, then the CGI looked like dog shit. At least in that trailer, I assume it probably looks better because he didn't. Funny enough, he didn't really complain that much about it. The only thing he really complained about was like he thought the models were too detailed,
and Uncanny Valley,
a little bit Uncanny Valley-ish, which they are. They very much are. I just remember in the trailer, like the models had no weight to them. Like those things looked so. They were the most like Compton to a like post Compton thing, like which obviously they were, but they didn't look like they were in the world at all. Like they looked like there was moments they were literally like skating and sliding around.
Yeah, like superimposed onto the background. Yeah,
right. Also like the way that everything has been written now because of the need for girl bossing, the dwarves basically don't mean anything in the story anymore. Like they have no reason to be in the fucking story.
Oh no.
Yeah, like they don't like from things I was seeing in the comments and the way he explains it, they removed all of the like motherly qualities of Snow White, where she's like taking care of the home and like baking the pie and like gets them to like wash and clean themselves and like helping them around, where she's more like ordering them. Like, and I get it, it's the want to like symbolically fight like weaponized incompetence in men type shit.
Or like fight weaponized incompetence. You don't have to like the implicit role of like the woman being a domestic being. Because I personally I don't think there's a great way to do that. I don't have a good answer for how to approach that situation.
Right.
Because you don't want to invalidate, because you showing her influence on their lives be because of like some sort of like inborn capacity to be like a domestic caregiver isn't great, right? So I feel like you can show her bring like value to their lives or some sort of like compassion, or like I feel like there's other ways that you can have them like incorporate that relationship,
right?
And at the same time, you know, whenever I see somebody claiming that you don't want to invalidate like a choice for domesticity, it gives me pause, because it makes me think about the trad wife stuff. Because the trad wife movement, the trad wife stuff is actually a religious movement.
Yeah.
To try to get people to be
masquerading as that's its own thing.
Which like every time I see something like that, it gives me pause.
Yeah.
Right. Because oftentimes people present these kinds of arguments or criticisms, and really it's just palatable sexism.
Yeah.
Right. Or it's just palatable, like, well, what if you want to be oppressed, right? What if you want that? And I guess if that's what you want, that's fine. But when it comes to how we're presenting things in media, I think we have to be more careful about that. But I don't know that Snow White is a great vehicle for
that messaging.
That messaging.
Yeah.
And there's definitely a totally different story. There's definitely a story that you can tell there where you focus on, like we had a conversation about this not long ago, where you focus on the love, the romance, the escaping from the oppression of the queen. You can turn the queen into a symbol of whatever the fuck you want to criticize in that scenario,
right?
Because she's even like, I don't know. I haven't seen the movie, so I don't have a ton of very concrete thoughts about it. But come on.
Yeah. Everything that I've seen about this has currently been, they didn't build a movie around this. They just kept changing Snow White to be a girl boss. It was like, take Snow White, the 1937 Snow White, and then just scene by scene, what can we change to make Snow White be a girl boss? And that sounds, like I said, I haven't seen the fucking movie. I haven't seen the movie. I have no intentions of seeing the movie, but it's just based on things I'm reading.
Commenting on comments about controversy does leave us with a bit of a limited scope.
Do you plan on watching the movie?
If we decided to do a dedicated like segment or music video on, I might. But until we do that, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't really do that.
But end of the day, like, it's shaping up to be not a great. And it seems like Disney is like, let's just fucking move on to Lilo and Stitch. Hey, Lilo and Stitch, everyone.
Yeah,
Lilo and Stitch. That looks good, right?
That looks good. It's coming out Thursday.
It's coming out Thursday. I thought it was coming out 2026. Nope, coming out Thursday. Yeah. So,
but it was interesting, real quick, when you said that like Snow White isn't quite the best avenue for them to be doing this with. There was talk about like Tangled kind of being a close-ish, thing to what it seems they're trying to do.
Yeah.
We all know it's going to happen.
Oh,
why didn't Disney just wait to do this with that movie? I don't know.
Like I said, it's the want to change Snow White and modernize it isn't so much the problem as it is. It feels like the most soulless path to get to here.
Yeah.
Like Tangled felt like someone who really loved the source material and wanted to just tell a modern version of Tangled or Rapunzel. Managed to do that, whereas this feels, and I think even Saberspark says it, that this just feels sanitized. Like, this doesn't feel like a passion of love and wanting to breathe a new life into this IP. This just felt like we have to do this. Hate this, but it feels like it feels like a poster argument for the removal of DEI, and I fucking hate it for that. Like, it absolutely feels like the thing that fuels like, this is why we have to get rid of DEI arguments, and I absolutely fucking hate that. But Disney also bent the knee immediately when those mandates went in, so what else can you fucking expect? But yeah, that was Snow White 2025. Probably gonna go down as
eminently forgettable,
and probably one of the worst live action remakes we've gotten to date. So,
good job, Disney.
Good job, Disney. Let's keep this bad boy off.
Keep them coming.
Always gotta love the advertisements whenever I visit this website.
Yeah, what the fuck is going on?
What the fuck is yak laughter?
I don't know, but I'm infinitely upset that we did.
Yes.
Like, I love this. I was hoping for more of this.
I was hoping for more of that as well. Yeah.
This actually will make a sick tattoo.
You know, it really fucking would.
Yep. There it is.
This would make a sick tattoo. All right, you got some Defiance of the Fall to talk about.
I do. I'm nearing in on the end of what's available for the audiobook series. And I've been thinking about Pavi Projko's performance a little bit in some of the things.
Pavi Projko being the person who's reading.
Yeah, the person. And honestly, of most of the time, he does a really good job. I wouldn't say quite as good as the guy who reads for Roombound Professor.
I'm sorry, did you come with prepared notes?
I did. I came.
Sir, do you
prepared.
understand what this podcast is about?
Well, look, I wanted to pull up audio clips for you guys to listen to,
Oh.
and so in order to do that, and I also wanted to have some examples here that weren't from the performance. So I took 30 minutes to take some notes for us.
Fluffy, I think you're trying to raise the bar on this that I cannot have you do.
I just look.
We need a sustainable level of quality for this.
30 minutes before the episode. No,
this is unacceptable.
No. So yeah, I wanted to. First of all, I want to talk about the voice of a character called Null. All right, there's a character who appears in one of our books where our MC is going to go to a alternate world, right? Where they get basically it's an opportunity for them to step to the next level of cultivation that they probably wouldn't be able to do unless they went to this place.
Okay.
And when they go to this place, it's like a special trial ground where certain things are provided to everybody that goes there. One of those things is a sentient guide that's birthed. And if you're successful while you're there and the guide does a good job, that guide will get a true soul and become a resident of the place.
Sick.
And so this is the description of the voice of the guide. All right. The voice was a bit childish and mischievous. The voice was a bit childish and mischievous, making Zach think of Emily when she was still a teenager. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what that makes you think of, but I have...
Read it one more time.
The voice was a bit childish and mischievous.
Yep.
Making Zach think of Emily when she was still a teenager.
Okay.
And let me go to book 2 for you here, and I will play the first voice clip that we ever hear from Emily. I think it's either the first or the second. It's right.
So this is the actual person, Emily, not the
actual. So when our person is performing as Emily,
okay.
This is what All right. So this is Emily.
Tears pooling in her eyes. Zach wordlessly started to charge Chop again, preparing to cut down the two. Didn't even dare to look up. Some shuffling from behind told him that the girl had decided to follow him. Soon, they were at the gate with Emily's parents hung up, and for the first time, he heard the girls speak up. Please help me take them down. A weak voice came from behind him, and he turned around to see tears pooling in her eyes.
Okay.
So that's that. Well, they're retrieving the bodies of her parents.
Fair.
But, so that is Emily's voice.
And now we're about to get it mischievous.
And now we're gonna go for that, but a little bit of energy, a little bit mischievous. So we're gonna
it's me, Peter.
Zach said, not bothering to come up with another pseudonym. From what Zach had gathered, the compulsions that guarded the secrets of the perennial vastness were extremely thorough. The whole visit was some secrets without success, proving taking on fake identities could at least go. What does that have to do with me? Look around you, Null said. See all those lights? Of course.
Yeah.
Some of those are guests like you, waiting to be sent down.
You were telling a joke. It's exactly what the voice sounds like.
That's Whis.
Yeah.
That's just Whis.
I'm gonna guide you.
Yeah. This Pink Panther bullshit. What's going on?
What's going on?
That does not sound like Emily.
It's just not the voice.
It's not the voice at all.
It's just not it.
They couldn't have made it any more clear of hey, do Emily's voice here.
Hey, do Emily's voice here. And they said,
and then I sounded
how
like
about
this?
And in the book, it says, it sounds, it made him think it sounded like Emily. It says right there.
It says it reminded him of Emily. To
of
be fair. But,
I guess
point being, you should sound probably like a girl or like a teenager.
I guess we don't know what he thinks of when he's like, oh, I guess maybe it's the way that he talks or that it talks makes me think of this moment I had with Emily.
No, Emily's pretty consistent in terms of her voice throughout the series.
And this is the same person who's voiced her.
It's not, maybe the character didn't think of the voice being Emily's voice, but maybe
I think they were trying to avoid was they were trying to avoid. Hey, listen,
Right.
hey, you know,
Right.
like the I don't remember the name of that
Navi.
character. The Navi of it all.
Yeah.
Right. Because that's essentially what this character is they're like they're your tutorial fairy, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's what they were trying to avoid, but it also is explicitly
But it's
what the
if you're giving the thing actual dialogue, you already avoid that anyway.
Yeah.
But
like
I get it. And like it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Like, it's not the craziest thing, except for the fact that there's just a straight up description of the voice.
There's just a straight up description of the voice. A lot of the times when he takes liberties with voices, right? Like there isn't a description of the voice. We're gonna go into like one other example of stuff this is the real thing that I want to complain about.
Okay,
but but yeah, this is like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's definitely annoying. that would get on my nerves too. Every time that
every time the voice goes on, like, Poppy, what are we doing here?
What are we doing, buddy?
Snagglepuss.
Right.
And then
stage left.
The other thing that I wanted to talk about is his usage of Valley Girl voice.
Oh no. Oh no.
Whereas there have been the 3 instances where there've been a character who's kind of entitled, or it appears to be kind of entitled, and when those kinds of characters pop up, he tends to go with the Valley Girl voice.
Of course.
And it's just
for fair reason.
The first one, I don't think is that bad. The character's name's literally Pretty. Right. I mean, it's a joking thing. They come from a family called the Peak family, where everybody has a name that's an adjective.
The Peak family.
Like greatest or average.
Really?
Oh shit.
Yeah. Like most of the people that live in the family, like the name's like some lofty thing. The first time we meet a member of the family, their name is Average.
Wow.
And the person's like, look, dude, I'm here. I'm trying to get the right to change my name. Right.
So it's like a rank thing. Like
he's already my favorite.
Well, literally, like the person's dad was like, well, I just wanted to see what would happen if I gave my son a shitty name.
Did you?
Oh, I hate him.
Damn.
There's a real life like occurrence of that. I can't remember if it was he named them like Good and Bad. I think the kids.
I think I've heard about this.
And I think Good ended up in prison and Bad was a really good person.
Jesus fucking Christ. Don't experiment with your children.
No,
Right.
you know, and it's like, and so the girl, her name is Pretty. She's earned the right to change her name, but she hasn't figured out what the fuck she wants to change it to yet. So technically she's pretty, but this is her.
She's
voice.
pretty.
Oh, apparently she's very attractive.
Taoist summit reacher, the beautiful woman said with an annoyed look as she glanced at Leara. This family and their naming sense, Leara lamented as she shook her head. And wasn't it Sword Mistress Grace last time? The two sat at a friend's viewing terrace that overlooked the Tower Square and the entrance to the Tower of Eternity. They had all gotten the quest, but only Ulmar and Precious had made a move. Him's conclamation was cut off as they were teleported away. Chapter 79. Elites. Pretty, why didn't you join in on the hunt? Leara asked with interest as she looked over at her friend with a spurious smile. Did you know that guy would be so strong? But I still think you would have a chance to trap him. I've told you 1,000 times. Call me Taoist Summit Reacher.
Just like,
is that Valley?
I've told you 1,000 times. You know,
Let's
it's not
Material Girl.
It almost sounds Irish or something.
You know, and I'll forgive him that one time.
Right.
All right, like that. You know, as a character.
In fairness, as a grown ass man, trying to come up with multiple voices for uppity teenage girls is probably not the easiest thing to do.
You know, and then the second one isn't quite as egregious. All right, it's a character named Tane. They're pretty sheltered. They're pretty sheltered. They have like they don't have a lot of experience in the outside world, and they're from like the upper echelon of the society. They're the quintessential like person who's been given all of the resources, right? And they're both used as a measuring block against our main character to show like how he compares to somebody like that narratively. And then also as they sort of like continue to appear, right, they they start to have a friendship, and it's kind of implied they might be like a love interest, but at least in terms of how they interact, they're very much friends.
I thought he already had a love interest.
He has,
or there's just
they might be going in like a harem direction. It's unclear. The more I interact with these kinds of, which is also another thing I kind of wanted to touch on, but the more I interact with like these kinds of stories, the more nuanced my feelings become about having like polyamory exist within these stories, because you're dealing with characters that travel across galaxies, right, that live for thousands and thousands of years, right? Like having just like, this is our monogamous pairing,
right,
doesn't, I feel like that is
it's hard to swing that as a normal thing.
Not even as a normal thing, it just doesn't make sense, right? It just doesn't make sense. But also conversely, when gender is not the determining factor for who is getting personal power, when these kinds of like, badasses are popping up out of the grass, we have these very diverse societies with lots of different arrangements. Sexual exclusivity, implied sexual exclusivity with one partner, or like specifically with just like a man, makes just as little sense, right? And we kind of see a little bit of that where the character we see like characters who have harems, we see characters who have reverse harems, and it's not sure, but there's not a lot of nuance within that structure. So I'm not sure where the author's going to be taking this stuff in the future, because ultimately, if the romance makes sense and it's not, explicitly in service of like just like gotta catch 'em all male fantasy style, like harem collection, then like if you're telling an interesting story, like I actually think I would appreciate that in the story. But if it's like, I'm trying to think of one. But it's like, the best example I could think of is there was a parody that I was reading where there's a character who's a parody of the hero, and they have like 3 wives, and the wives are like 3 love interests, and love interests are all like, we just want to make him happy, and like we're all gonna live together, and it's like, this is just as much bullshit as like the freedoms that you're affording to your main character should also be afforded to like the side characters, especially if like for a character like Istane were to be involved in this, where they are the scion of one of the most powerful factions in the universe, and they're gonna have one romantic partner. I don't think so.
Wow, with that said, one romantic partner has multiple. Entertaining multiple different partners. It's like, come on, dog. If we're gonna go polyamorous, let's go polyamorous. It doesn't always have to be a harem. Which also, there's something really funny about that we call a reverse harem. When it's one woman, multiple men. When to me, a reverse harem should be multiple people having one.
I think that I like that more.
I like that. A harem is like a one person with the power with multiple people that are subservient, when a reverse harem should be multiple doms and one sub. But I think we also call that a gangbang. It is what it is.
But yeah, so like I actually think that it would be great if we end up with like some polyamorous stuff. But if it's just like, I get the shabuenko, the hut chicks, I will.
You're back to cliches that just like, of course you do.
But this is Tane's voice, which it's not as bad as Pretty's, but it's still really towing the line.
The unyielding river of fate. You thought you could subvert the unyielding river of fate? Chaos might be able to hide you from the heavens, but not from me. Twice now you have fled from me. There will not be a third. Behind is 6 radiant wings fluttered.
You know what's really funny? It's making me appreciate. Now, you know Critical Role better than I do, but I know Dimension 20 pretty well.
Yeah.
It's really making me appreciate how Brennan Lee Mulligan is able to do. Because like I was sitting here thinking about it, I was like, well, does he really do a lot of voices, or is it just he's really making use of theater of the mind shit? And as I think about it, it's like, no, he does. Like it is that, but this is also doing theater of the mind. Like it's not that far off. It's very much that Brennan knows how to lean on different personalities to make his voices sound unique more than it is like like it's not about pitching, like it's not about pitching intonation. Like it's obviously as a grown man you're just not gonna like you can't to a degree, like you can to a degree, but for the most part you're relying mostly on creating a personality that I can see as a teenage girl, early 20s girl, whatever the fuck, right?
Well, and also I think you're right on the money, because ultimately the biggest issue I have with when I see this is that Pavi's inputting a personality on these characters that they don't really have.
Oh yeah,
right. Like, and the next one I'm going to talk about is Yuona. Is the biggest, I think, offender of this, because Yuona is like a vampire cultivator, right? She's vicious. I think she's one of my favorite mid-tier villains that we've had throughout the entire story.
Okay.
Right. She both is like a foil to our main character and is like somebody who's got like this really cool power set that is hard to deal with and that resulted in like a very tense and engaging conflict.
And then also gets hella wet for the main character, right?
No, they fucking end up, he kills the shit out of her, and she, like, they end up in an inscrutable, like irrevocable grudge.
I just want to say you started that off with they fuck and end up. I was like, oh, I didn't think.
No.
Okay, no, that makes it fair.
He kills her with heavenly tribulation lightning.
He kills the vampire chick without fucking her first? That's crazy.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Well, I mean, when they first meet, she tries to murder him, and then he rips off her arm and her leg. So
yeah, that's hot.
Do it again.
That's called foreplay. I mean,
Don't shame my kink.
You know, if that's what you're into, that's what you're into.
Don't kink my shame.
I really liked it, because I mean they are.
I swear to God, if we get another Valley Girl voice, I'm gonna piss myself.
And so I sent this one a little bit ahead of where their voice starts, because I want you to get some of the internal monologue for this character, because they are calculative, they're vicious, they're mean-spirited, right? Where our MC would give people patience and like give them a second chance, she'll just fucking kill them right out. Right.
I'm not gonna lie, looking at MC on these covers, I didn't think he was a second chance type.
He's a second chance type, but your third chance is
you don't get one. You get one second chance.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have qualms about. He's somebody who walks the line, right? Like he doesn't have qualms about killing, but he's not just going to go around doing murders for fun.
He's not quite Punisher, but he's a little more than Spider-Man.
Yeah, like if you come for his life.
Oh yeah, no,
he won't sleep after he won't lose any sleep over your corpse.
Right? Okay, he's a Goku.
He'll fuck your life up. Yeah.
He's a Goku.
Yeah. And so like she set up with the help of her clan, they set up like an array that literally bleeds people dry and drives them mad in order to create a blood sacrifice to let her ancestor descend into this area. Right?
Damn.
Like, they are vicious. And so
arrived. Yuona gleefully looked on as the two thorns in her side went all out in an effort to kill one another. She still didn't know if it really was Grandpa Nither who helped her snatch that cursed thing, but the end result was even better than she'd expected. Perhaps it had been a trap by someone meant to put her on a path of no return. Luckily, she'd heard the tale of the fall of the two aberrations that had plagued the multiverse in the early era of the system. There was no way she'd drink from that poison well, but not all could resist its call. She could barely stop herself from laughing when remembering how that arrogant ghost demanded the corrupted remnant in return for allowing her into the City of Ancients. They had veritably hummed with greed upon sensing the unlimited potential for destruction hidden in the thing. You thought you would be able to pull one over on me, little ghost? Yuona snickered.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
What the fuck was that?
What the fuck was that?
Where's the pee?
Bora.
Jesus, bro. Oh, that's okay. That the other two, like, yeah, Pretty was like, okay, that's fair. If you told me the character I need to voice was named Pretty, okay,
Like,
that's
it's
fair.
like,
yeah.
okay, you know.
Tame. What was it? Tame? Was it called Tame?
It's Tame.
It's
It's a
Tame.
little annoying, but it's like
Annoying, but okay. Like it seems kind of samey, but whatever. That was bad. That was just bad. Like that.
Yeah.
Like, sir, that feels like you. Does he do other female characters?
He does. He does quite a few other female characters.
And that's just what he chose.
That's
for
just
her.
what he chose for her.
Okay. Like when I say he does other female characters, like he does good. Like
you know, like you heard Emily for the first bit, right?
Sure, yeah,
She
yeah.
didn't sound like that. The you see it's I notice it's a pattern, right, where it comes to characters who have some sort of like a even when like Kathea Sharvazi first showed up, she definitely had a little bit of that, like when they have sort of like an entitled background, right?
I was
When
going to
they
say,
have
it sounds
powerful
like very much a typecast thing for
Yeah.
them of like, okay, this person is meant to come from either some kind of entitlement or not authority, but it comes from a family of means, I guess. Like
Yeah. His sister, the main character's sister, nothing like that. The main character's first love interest that gets fridged, but not really.
The shield
nothing,
girl.
nothing like that. Yeah. The
I remembered that because I put that episode out last night.
actually, the shield girl has a little bit of, but it's not. He makes some choices with that one, but it's different. She sounds like this because she's seductive.
She's the system voice. Yeah, I know.
Snagglepuss.
Snagglepuss is back all over.
She's if Snagglepuss wanted to fuck you.
Yeah, I think that's just Snagglepuss.
I don't know Snagglepuss.
Snagglepuss is the Pink Panther. If you remember those old, like they're cartoons that predate.
Whenever
all
I
of
watched
us.
Pink Panther, it was like silent. At least Pink Panther was. I don't think
there
I ever
was
saw that.
there was a period where he does, like, if you've ever heard the phrase whatever exit stage left, like that's a Snagglepuss reference callback. But yeah, that's why me and him have kept making that Snagglepuss, because that sounds exact. We'll pull up something for you after when we're done recording.
Because like Yuona is really what made me want to write this. It was Yuona where I was like, "This is we can't."
That's
do
egregiously
this.
bad. Like that's you don't have anything else. Well, I don't want to. I'm opinionated, and I was going to say something that's like, I don't know what the process is like to become a audiobook reader, let alone a voice actor, right? I don't know how he sets up his characters. I don't know how he kind of goes about that.
Some repetition, some like mirroring. I think it's inevitable,
right?
Because we've spanned. This is the 13th book. There's a very diverse set of characters, right? But like,
there has to be a better description to base your voice around, more than just this person is affluent or comes from affluence.
Yeah.
And therefore I'm going to give them the Valley Girl voice. Because like that, for essentially a cultist with vampiric ties and shit, like there's a bunch of better voices we could have went with. Like, go off the cold and calculating bit, go off the ruthless sadistic bit. Like, even if we go like sadistic,
and if you want to give her an interesting thing, go like fucking just do
Dracula, anything, right?
Like fucking no, I don't. And it not only it's not accurate to the character, it pulls you out of the experience when it's supposed to be like a really tense thing, or like when you know,
real out of nowhere.
and
Well,
she's
that's what
just
I was thinking about, like in a final battle scenario, like when when you're listening to the narration on top of the main character's voice and the voice that he gave her. I don't know if I'd be able to take that seriously as someone who's trying to immerse within that scene.
I kind of checked out of that battle.
Could you imagine if Azula sounded like that?
It would suck.
During any of the scenes in which you're supposed to feel fear from Azula.
Yeah. No.
That wouldn't be which is like, that would be a perfect voice to use here, by the way.
Yeah.
Like Azula is the perfect voice for that character. I can ooh boy. That's bad.
It's like, fortunately, they only appear like twice, and the second time they appear, they die. So you don't really have to worry about it for very long. But it's like, come on, man.
It's so weird that this person has proven themselves to be able to do much better voices, but this is where it fell flat. Like that's,
I mean, they're quite competent.
like, yeah, you've proven that you're pretty fucking good at what you do.
Yeah.
So what the hell happened?
What the fuck is going on?
That just makes me want to know what happened. Why did this come out of nowhere? But
so
are you gonna finish up Defiance of the Fall?
Yeah, Defiance of the Fall should be finished by next week. I'm on the 13th of the 14 audiobooks that are available right now.
Because you ended up buying all of them in one fell swoop, didn't you? Or
I didn't. I've been going along, but I mean, I did it mostly because there are 14 books,
right?
And so I've been chipping away at that. But I'll be finishing out because it's not been a perfect series, but it's still been deeply enjoyable.
Okay.
And we've got some of the stuff we talked about last week has been like addressed a little bit.
Okay.
But, it's still not to a point where I would call it, like perfectly resolved. Like, shit, what was her name?
Shield Girl.
You
said her name and I don't remember what it was. No, you never said. I don't think you said.
I don't think I said her name. From Clan Ashurazi. Alea gets healed to the point where she can at least speak now.
Oh, sick.
I mean, she's still real delighted to be in the service of our main character, which I think I have mixed feelings about, but which on one hand means that at least she's content in her current role and is able to develop herself while she's doing what she's doing, but also is just like, I'm just glad I can help you as your object.
Yeah,
there's some ickiness there, but at the same time, it's like
moral gray area right there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as a tragedy that happened in an attempt to save her life, I think
there's just an unfortunate pattern of other things that happened outside of this book that it taints the idea of this, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is.
And so the romance that I was complaining about with Kathea, I've pretty much flipped on.
Really?
I actually really enjoyed their partnership now. I still don't think that the way it began really made a lot of sense.
Remind us how it began.
They met once in the Tower of Eternity, which was that trial. So they met very briefly. She realized that he had some passing relation to her ancestor. And then they met back up in the Twilight Sea. He was under an alternate identity. And she did some things that were kind of flirtatious, but appeared more to be like to embarrass him. And then they slowly became a little bit more serious the more time they spent together. But they didn't really spend that much time together
for it to be fledging this hard.
Yeah.
But, okay.
Like at that point, it didn't like for her. And then she started taking actions, which was the thing that I really didn't think made a lot of sense based off of that, like passing affection, like where she was like sticking with him and helping him out past when it made sense for her to still be there. But when they went to that place where Null came from, it was called the Primal Vastness or Perennial Vastness. They are then spending a period of years together. And they develop a relationship there, and I like her. I think she's really cool. I also really like Tay. I also think she's really cool. So I want them to be polyamorous.
Become a polycule, please.
It would be pretty great.
Or a reverse polycule?
No,
they could just
all three.
Whole thing.
Fair.
I want some cosmic lesbians. There's an ability called Cosmic Gaze.
So you want them to do this?
I want them to do this, and then like this.
Just touching foot with.
This is their third fit.
Oh.
I don't know what that is, but
They have.
I want them to do it.
I thought they were. I thought each one of them was like touching foot with like MC off on the side so that he could be included.
MC gets the cuck chair.
Yeah. So is book 14 the end, or what will be currently available?
The book 14 is what's currently available. I think they're currently working on book 15.
Okay.
So if you read on the Royal Road right now, you're currently reading book 15.
Okay.
So we're up to like 1,000 something chapters, and
Sheesh.
I think we're probably a third way of the way through the story that they're going to tell. So
Fair.
Wow.
A small complaint that I have is that things have really become attached to like an idea of like fate, which, and our character has gained a backstory that implies some like destiny, but they walk a line where that sort of like destiny is a lot more due to like the manipulation of outsiders that see him as an opportunity to do stuff, and so it's almost to the point where I would be kind of like, this is a chosen one narrative that I'm not about, but it's also really cool. So
fair enough.
I've been willing to stick with that. That's a small complaint. The story is interesting. The conflicts are typically interesting. There's enough variation. When I was complaining about there being that constant like drive, they've walked that back as well. So there's been some pacing. It kind of sucks that you have to wait for like 4 books for that to happen. But those 4 books, I was having a great time.
Nice.
Right. So I really don't consider it a knock against it, but I could see where that might be, an issue for some people. And when I finish what's currently available, we'll come swing back around one more time and talk about where things sit. But so far, I'm still giving it like an 8, 9 out of 10.
Nice. All right, fair.
The level of detail that they've gone in for the world building and the cultivation system is like bar none. In terms of like comprehensiveness, I would say that it's actually even a little bit superior to something like the Immortals Journey to Immortality, which surprised me, but it's real. I enjoy it. There's a lot of things I enjoy about it. And so, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, hell yeah. Return back here next week to see the exciting cliffhanger. The end of book.
What's the next cliffhanger going to be?
Sure, next week we'll do that, and then I believe you're going to take a bit of a break from audiobooks.
Take an audiobook hiatus. I should also have a review of the 8th book for Mark of the Fool then as well. Then we'll be taking an audiobook hiatus, and we're returning to manhwa stuff.
Yeah. Wow, it has been a minute.
Yeah.
I think we did what, like 1 or 2 episodes here where you still did manhwa? It's all been
kind of popped up
audiobook since then. Hell yeah. So look forward to that next week. But for now, I think that is it for us tonight.
Yeah.
This was back in regular form. I think this was a long one.
Loaded episode.
At least we've been sitting here for a long time. We'll see when it actually comes out.
What kind of yak laughter we'll be producing.
Right. There's a lot that y'all, if you're just watching this on YouTube, there's a lot of this that y'all end up missing out because it gets put up for Patreon only. So if you want to see that, our Patreon's only $1 right now.
Just $1.
$1.
Also, shout out to Mike, our original old god.
Thanks, Mike.
Looking to get more of you in there soon.
A man of esteemed and superior character.
Oh, what? And a scholar. What's the other word?
A
gentleman and a scholar. Couldn't think of the fucking word.
A bitch and a scholar.
Bitch and a scholar.
Yeah, there it is.
We love you, Mike. Don't worry. We love you, buddy. Oh, man. All right. Well, remember, like, comment, and subscribe.
5 stars.
We'll see you guys around, and
Stay gay.
Bye.
Peace. Bye.
Egg beater. Can I borrow your egg beater? Can I borrow your egg beater?
Turned around to see